So like the creamy yolk, and it's not dry, and it's not sticking to the roof of your mouth, and then the nice soft white of the egg, all packaged in a little canoe that just glides down the river of your throat. Oh. Hello and welcome back to Xpwaste, where we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. I'm Michael.
And I'm Oxie. If you're new around here, we're a podcast that talks primarily about old school RuneScape. Normally, that's our shtick. We talk all things old school. We got leagues coming up that actually just released yesterday, so you can bet I haven't gotten any sleep, and I've just been up playing leagues the entire day when this episode comes out. Though honestly, when this episode drops, you know what? We're going to get pedantic with it. This is the one-stop shop for RuneScape. This week is a little bit different. So if you're an American, you're in the right place. If you're new, if you're not an American, you're still going to have fun listening, but you might not get it in the same way. If you're not new around here, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the annual 2024 Xpwaste Thanksgiving Showdown. Michael.
What's up, Oxie?
How have you been this week, brother? Let's get the formalities and the niceness out of the way. Let's get the niceties out of the way because it's about to be a bloodbath.
Two major updates for me.
To reference, if you are not from the United States, that's why I say this episode might not mean anything because you might not have Thanksgiving, or you might not have Thanksgiving. You may have had Thanksgiving like a month ago if you're Canadian, but today, oh baby, we're.
What's happening? So, two major updates for me, IRL. I got a haircut. I'm rocking a subtle mullet now, which I'm very happy with. I have bangs for the first time in years. My normal hairstyle has just been like swish it to the side and see what happens. And I have like a rapidly receding hairline right here in the corners. And so it's just been looking thin up at the top. And normally I just do like faded up on the sides, comb over on the top. Like if you've been watching this show since 2021, I don't think I've had a different hairstyle except for that like 12 months where I grow out my hair.
R.I.P.
I grew out my hair for 12 months.
Michael Christ, man. That was a good look.
But we get into it, but I don't want to. But I've had pretty much the same hairstyle for the last like probably 10 years plus, except for that 1 year where I grew my hair out. It's been all the same. And so I've never had anything kind of wanky or crazy. So I'm rocking a subtle mullet with bangs, and I like it. I like it a lot. So I'm very happy with my hair. The other thing is IRL. My wife and I spent like 3 or 4 days doing DIY stuff throughout the house. In our bedroom specifically, we put up like beadboard, which is just like wood paneling that goes halfway up, and then there's like trim at the top. So I haven't been playing RuneScape very much. There has been a couple of nights this week where I've just kind of like just went all out. Last night was one of those, and I think maybe like Monday or Tuesday night, but did a fair few raids this week. That's pretty much been it. If I had to be honest, like I haven't done much of anything.
What was that other thing that happened yesterday? Can't remember. Something else happened. What was the other thing that happened yesterday, Michael? Do you remember?
Fear got a fang.
No, that wasn't
our Patreon stream.
I remember. It was your birthday.
Oh, that wasn't. We didn't do our stream yesterday. Today is Sunday, and it was my birthday.
Michael literally was like, I was so convinced that my birthday was actually Sunday. I was going to have to push back the episode. Turns out it's not. I just forgot what day my birthday's on.
Damn. Yeah, it was my birthday yesterday. I'm 32 years old. My whole body hurts. So there's that. Good on you, growing older. Like, I don't think I should be this sore from just like doing DIY stuff at my house. So maybe this is a sign that I need to like try and get more active and more fit, because there was a night when I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, After we did a majority of the day, we were doing like cutting boards and painting and doing all that. I just laid down on my bed, and just laying down, my whole back was on fire because of the bending over, and it was bad. So I think this is a sign. 32 years old. I'm not going to get any younger, and I'm not even that old, to be honest with you. 32 is not, it's not up there, you know, but it's a sign. I need to get more fit because we're doing a 5K on Thanksgiving. Um, Actually, when you're listening to this, probably I am midway through a run on Thanksgiving morning.
Oh,
So that'll be kind of fun. Just gonna try and lay low this week, not do anything crazy, so that I am able to at least run some of that 5K. But yeah, it was my birthday. We did like birthdays to me, as like once I hit like maybe 26, 27, birthdays have been kind of just like another day. Not that I don't like my birthday, because I know that there's people out there who are like, I don't want to celebrate. I don't like my birthday, blah, blah, blah. I like my birthday. Um, and I enjoy, doing things on my birthday. But like for me, as I've grown older, it's been more about spending time with family and having quality time versus like making it a big deal. So, we'll have like specific places we go eat, or, family time at one of my parents' house. And it's less about like having a bunch of friends over to party. And I've never really even been that way to begin with. So this isn't much, but in terms of like materialistic things, I have everything I need. I just want memories and experiences. So birthdays have been like, it feels like it's just another day. And that's why I forgot. Like yesterday was my birthday because it's like, yeah, cool, 32. We're getting up there. But yeah, it was a good week. It was a good week. I'm really happy with how our room is turning out. It's our house is a mess, which is not fun. Um, but other than that, I haven't really done much. Like I said, in RuneScape, I'm pushing 1975 total. 2 levels away. I could get it like within the next probably 2 hours if I did fishing and defense. But pushing 2K total. I don't think I'm gonna get 2K total before leagues though. That's the sucky part, because 25
ooh,
levels
before
where I'm at,
leagues. Ooh, that's
that would be like 75 to 80 in more than a few skills. So that's not, it's not looking promising. Because I don't really even have any quick ones that I could just bust out. Like I could maybe do 8 levels of construction, but it would take me probably 20 or 30 hours of prep and like doing the level to get there, because I'd have to do plank make for all of my planks. And I think I have like 12,000 planks that I would need to get to 90. And then I could go and do desert treasure and get 3 levels in prayer. I could do a bunch of fire making. But no, I'm not going to get 2K before leagues, which is fine. I'll be 2K total sometime in January or February, I think, and that's fine with me. Start out 2025, make it a goal for 2025 to hit 2K total within like the first quarter of the year. So I'm done talking now, Oxie. How are you?
I'm
What have
pretty
you been up to this
good.
week?
I'm currently having a conversation with a guy named Listman here at the Colossal Realm Agility course. Man rocked up in Blood Torva, Rancor, Infernal Max Cape, and is just running worm laps with me while he's waiting for his top team. So shout out to you, brother. But I've been pretty good. It's been an insanely busy IRL week, it feels like. It feels like they're all insanely busy this time of year at work. Normally is dies down, but it has not this academic year for some
Oh,
reason. So, and we don't even know what it is. Like you'd think, oh, it's the election surge. It really hasn't been. We haven't had like any election related concerns come in, but it's been busy with work. It's felt exhausting. But it's really not been too bad. I'm trying to get a new car, which sucks. If you've ever tried to get a new car, I'm on that journey again. And I am going to shut down the rumors right now. There have been some rumors going around about me that that are not only false but are also kind of offensive. If I'm going to be entirely honest. Um So just to address it out front for everyone in the Xpwaste community, I am not maining my Iron Man now that I am maxed. I need you guys to understand this. I am not maining my Iron Man because I am maxed. I am not maining my Iron Man because Fear got spooned a seed. I am not maining my Iron Man because we got a new group member. I'm not maining my Iron Man because turns out post-max life is boring. I am looking for something to do in the short term before Leagues comes out. Oxie fans is going to sit for a couple of weeks with nothing while I play Leagues on the main. I do intend to load up Oxie fans on Leagues eventually because I really want to do a WMV melee run and try to get to Echo Soul. But I'm not doing that on the main. But I am not maining my Iron Man. Otis said rock Oxie fans for Springo. I will not be doing that. Not happening. However, I am doing a lot on my GIM. So currently on the main, I think all I've done this past week, I helped Shinkiro get 99 rune crafting by giving him a single inventory of essence. And then I've been doing the Colossal Worm agility course for the clog there. And I haven't really been playing too much because Colossal Worm does take a little bit of focus. On the GIM, however, I did finally get a quest cape. Did all the Grandmaster quests. Didn't have too hard of a time with it. Got all the quests done. Did Curse of Arev, Ethically Acquired Antiquities, Death on the Isle, all the ones I hadn't done yet. And like actually read through them. Curse of Arev has a pretty interesting ending. And I didn't play RS3, so I have no idea what the ending means. But I'm looking forward to it. And then what else? I am 10 points away from the hard combat achievements, and if I know myself, I will have the hard CAs done by the time this episode comes out. I got Bones to Peaches last night during D&D, so I'm gonna have
the hard CAs done by the time this episode finishes.
Well, I'm running agility because I literally I was
you're
talking,
not playing your Iron Man.
I was talking with Michael. I'm like, dude, what 10 combat achievement points can I get? And realistically, the answer is none because like I don't want to do that. I don't want to put that kind of work in. I've had some abysmal PBs in the CC this past week. My personal favorites are a 512 Duke, a 438, or no, it was 419 one Jad challenge. That was brutal. But the best of them all was the 743 Muspa. That shit was rough. I know I tried to get the one where you surround Muspa in spikes, and I did get that CA. But bruh, Warp Scepter and Rune Crossbow are not it for Muspa, let me tell you. Tried to kill Vardorvis, got shat on. Don't even want to bother with Leviathan and Whisperer because I don't want to get shit on. I'll have hard combats done. I need to either get a boost or get the level for rune crafting for the already hard diary. Then all the hard diaries are done. Currently waiting on my Belladonna to be grown, and then the Lumbridge diary is complete. Then I'm thinking I might put that lamp into rune crafting, just so I can have an easier time getting the boost for the death rune, and then all the hard diaries on the icon are done. Which means I'm just going to cap off my week with getting 1750 total level, and then I'll be sitting in a pretty clean spot before Leagues to not touch the GIM for a good chunk of the remaining period of the year, because I don't know if I'll want to play RuneScape after Leagues is done. Last Leagues was exhausting, and I'm kind of looking forward to maybe not playing it afterwards. I've been very motivated since Bingo to play and clog and do all sorts of stuff. And, you know, I have sent a couple raids on the GIM. We did a little bit of wilderness content, but with this whole Wildy CCTV nonsense that's been going on, we couldn't do literally anything else afterwards.
So annoying.
So I have been, just like hard focusing on whatever. I do keep having this weird thing. I've only been playing on my main for like 20 minutes today, but I keep seeing the XP drops, and I keep looking up going, damn, I'm really close to an agility level, not realizing that it's like 13.5 million, because I keep thinking like, oh, I'm going to get a level, and I'm not. And I'm like, okay, thank God. Like I'm not. Like we're home now. We don't need to worry about that. Though, to Michael's credit and to my group mates' credit, GIM feels a lot better now because of the supplies. Like we finally, I got like 180 prayer pots, 200 brews, 200 restores. The boys gave me some stams, and I almost have 78 herblore. So I can boost for brews and do all the things. So it's feeling a lot better actually having supplies to go do content with.
Mm-hmm.
Content still doesn't feel great, but you know what? It's a thing. So,
But you know the answer to that, right? The answer to that is just train. Like that's not like something that's going to ever be holding you back long term
I
if you
know
play the account more often because you
yeah,
just need levels.
it is. It's very much like I tried to kill
Levels and gear.
2 tormented demons at the same time for a CA, and I can do it. It's just so slow without a Slayer task that like, God, it felt so bad. I'm literally in VC last night. Like, am I stupid? Did I forget how to do tormented demons? I didn't. I'm hitting them with like carols and adamant diamond bolts and like a fighter torso with an arc light. Like, it just doesn't feel as good as like obviously Tebow, Missouri, or anything like that. So I don't know. It's the skill set is there. The growing pains are having to play on a account with not great gear, but we have a Fang now, and holy shit.
It was so nice to raid with a Fang.
Dude, it's a different video game with a Fang on this account. You want to tell him about it, Michael?
So Fear is at like 2KC. Got a Fang. We were doing our Patreon stream. And if you're not a patron, you can join at the Party Pete or higher tier. Join our monthly live streams where we just do whatever. The past couple of months, it's been like GIM content where we do quests or we've done raids. So we got Fear in the stream and we did a trio Toa. And this was like Fear's like second or third KC normals. And it was like a 150. And he pulls a Fang. And it was quite nice. I don't think any of us died that one, which was great. But nothing in the back-to-back, unfortunately. But I hear that Fear is like pretty spooned when it comes to purples, mainly light bearers or something. But so I'm looking forward to the light bearers when they do come. But damn, feels so good to raid with a Fang. I like for the longest time, I have not had a good stab weapon. So Toa just doesn't feel good, but Fangs make all the difference. And it's going to make all the difference. And now, like, I think doing DT2 with a Fang, Bardorvis and maybe Duke I'll probably do with
You still want whip and arc light.
Arc light, yeah.
You still want whip for Vard. Fang is not great. After the nerf,
really?
Fang is real bad at Vard. So you still want to use your whip.
Yeah. Okay, well, never mind. But yeah, gosh, Fang feels so good. The gear upgrades are coming. I think Fear literally just corrupted his Bofa this morning or last night or something. So that's cool. Yeah. He's killing Zulrah.
I have a special request for the XP Wasters. And it's more of a special request from Michael, but it's for the XP Wasters. I want you guys to at Michael and do 2 things. At Michael, wish him a happy Thanksgiving, and then tell him congratulations on his quest cape. Because let me tell you, I did not think I would feel as like about getting a quest cape on the Iron Man as I did yesterday when I got my quest cape. Here's the deal. I am the Joker to Michael's Batman. Without Batman, crime has no punchline. When I'm not racing Michael for an achievement, I don't give a shit. I finished Ribbiting Tail. I'm in VC. All I have to do is talk to Sue to finish the quest. I go, you guys think I could milk this until Michael gets online so we can get the quest cape? Or maybe he might have a chance to beat me. And they're like, why would you do that? I'm like, yeah, I suppose that's a good answer. Literally, it's like, get your goddamn quest cape, Michael. Literally, okay. I'm sneaking up on Michael. I did Wild Gothic Sleeps without him knowing. I did
crazy.
Almost
Desert all of DT2
without him. I did all of DT2 without you knowing because you didn't knew I was doing it for the commercials, but you didn't know when I finished it.
No, I didn't.
Like, you didn't know when I finished it. You didn't know I did Wild Gothic Sleeps because literally he joins VC and Ralph and Fear were like, oh, I don't think we're supposed to tell Michael about that thing you did yesterday. I'm like, nope, keep your mouth shut. And I did Wild Gothic Sleeps. And I'm in the middle of doing Monkey Madness 2. And I think I just went, oh, son of a bitch, because I failed an agility check. And Michael, the stalker that he is, hovered over my thing on Discord and go, you're in Crux Dungeon. You're doing Monkey Madness 2. Are you going to get your quest cape? I'm like, I'm sneaking up on you. He's like, and he literally goes, yeah, okay, you can do it. Go ahead. Have your fun. I'm like, what? What do you mean I can just do it? You're not gonna try to rush and get. He's like, well, I've got DT2 and Cursive RF, so like, no, probably not. I'm like, what? What do you mean? So at Michael and tell him congratulations on his quest cape. Because if he doesn't get it this week, he's gonna be really embarrassed. So
the funny part is I have to edit and Leagues comes out. So I literally I'm gonna start editing tonight. I maybe will finish it in the morning tomorrow. And then I'll have Monday night, Tuesday, and Tuesday night. Because my son's out of school this week. So there's no like dad gaming hours where I just get to play while, the kid's at school. So I have Monday night and Tuesday night. And I probably could do Desert Treasure all in one night. I think. I'm not going to read it. Favor. I'm just going to spacebar it.
Quest helper the shit out of DT2 because
read
it will
Cursive
take
RF.
It is don't like Quest helper Cursive RF. Read the dialogue because some of it's interesting. Like don't like spacebar the dialogue in Cursive RF because it is cool. But definitely Quest helper the puzzles. 100% Quest helper the puzzles for Cursive RF, and then DT2 just machine gun that bitch. Just get it done as quick as possible. You're gonna be shocked at like how fast DT2 is with Quest helper spacebarring the entire thing because you don't have to do it on day one. A, you know what's coming.
True.
B, you don't need to like film anything for it like I did. Literally, I think like Duke took me 2.5 hours. Vardorvis took me 2.5 hours. Leviathan, I didn't do anything for Leviathan for the show, so I just like quest helpered it and got through it in like 45 minutes. Same thing with Whisperer, 30 minutes in and out, one and done the boss. It's gonna be way easier for you.
Yeah.
So
here's a question. We'll talk about this briefly and then we'll get into the main title content. But once I get my quest cape, what's next? Because if you need a Batman to your Joker, what are we doing next? Elite Diaries? Base 90s? What?
I mean, you're so far ahead of me that I don't know.
But if you need something to race to, I don't know.
It's tough. I'm sure we'll find something. I mean, there is an existing bet that does exist.
Oh, that's true.
That it's the tortoise and the hare with the existing bet.
True.
It is. I'm gonna get there. I don't know when, but I'm gonna get there.
And that could sneak up on me.
you have no idea.
So,
like just then, the king felt true fear for the first time.
No,
when he logged in
fear.
And realized Oxie is 98 fire making with 200k to go. Jack literally sat and did fire making all like 1.5 mil fire making a day this past week, and I was like, I could sit there with him, but holy shit, that sounds terrible. So
I thought about it, and I'm just gonna like briefly go over what the bet is. So it's two-sided. If I get a blowpipe,
it's old beef.
If I get a blowpipe from Zulrah myself, the drop is in my name. Oxie has to drop what he's doing and go whatever level all the way to 99 fire making. Nothing else. Can't play anything else. That's his like forfeit. But if Oxie decides to go and get 99 fire making before I get a blowpipe, I can't use anybody else's blowpipe that may or may not be already acquired. So if Fear, within the next hour, spoons a blowpipe, I could be locked out of using it if Oxie decides to bust out 99. I just have to like give it back to him. Can't use it. So there's a forfeit for both of us. And you know what? I thought this was a win-win for me. I thought, you know what? I'm already doing Zulrah. Like, this is a win-win for me. But now Fear is at the point where he's probably more efficient at killing Zulrah than me. And I am drier than a desert at Zulrah right now. I think I'm 2 times the drop rate for a unique that's not an Onyx.
I am in the opposite camp where it's a lose-lose situation. We either have to bust our balls and do 99 fire making, or we have to wait and get 99 or watch you get the blowpipe before I get 99 fire making, because what I'm concerned about because it's technically not within the parameters of the bet. And years ago, had we known, I think it certainly would have been a lot more interesting. So years ago, we made the bet at the beginning, and Michael pretty much was like, getting 99 fire making is the most important and difficult thing that you're going to have to do. I'm like, you ever killed Zulrah on an Iron Man? He's like, well, no. I'm like, you ever killed Zulrah without a T-bow? He goes, no, I've killed it with a Bofa, but that's it. I'm like, okay, call me when you get to Zulrah and let me know how that goes. So back then, 4 years ago, whenever it was the understanding that I know Michael doesn't know how to kill Zulrah. So when he gets there and he without his blowpipe, like I'll drop 99 fire making because that's not going to happen. Michael, I guarantee, is not going to get a Tanzanite thing in 2021. That's not the Michael I know. Now, not only does he know how to kill Zulrah, if Fear gets another enhanced, Fear's going to give it to Michael. So Michael could potentially use a Bofa to get a Tanzanite Fang. That's only a 1 in 128 to see a unique from Zulrah, and then force me to do 99 fire making. So I'm in a lose-lose where unless I want to sacrifice all my goals and just sit there with my dick in my hand, I think I might need to just race to 99 fire making or get within a point where like I could just hold it over Michael's head until he goes back to Zulrah.
You could. You literally could. Yeah.
Because I feel like unfortunately we've kind of the group has evolved in such a way where we did not expect it to go, in that we did not expect to pick up the members that we have and for the PVM prowess to progress how it has since we made the GIMs. So I don't know. It's very different now with the potential of like, oh, Michael just have like full crystal and a Bofa, and just like Bofa only Zulrah, and it'll be a joke. You know, like yikes. It's gonna be way different. But the RNG still couldn't fall. And I know the rough hour spread of what I'm gonna need to achieve 99 fire making.
Like,
so
what, like 30 hours? Less than that?
Too many, let me tell you.
Okay.
Well, they have a mixology calculator on old school tools now. That's nice.
Oh, neat.
But yeah, we got to get to main title content, Big Dog.
All right.
We are too deep. We are too deep into it.
That was a transition. On the screen now. Somewhere over there, probably. Over there. This is the Thanksgiving tier list episode. So, for the last 3 years, if you're new to the show, for the last 3 years in a row, this will be our third. For the last 2 years in a row, Oxie and I have done a tier list to celebrate Thanksgiving and our love for food, and we will probably end up ranking a lot of the same things in the same order, but it's turned into a bit of a showdown the last couple of years, and you know,
it's a rather violent affair.
It can be violent. It can. The the opinions will fly. The insults will be hopefully held back, but we're going to try and get into it so that we can get this episode done in a timely fashion, because you know we can yap. We can definitely yap. So
damn, ain't that the truth? We can yap.
Here we go. Let's start out. You know, I'm gonna let you make the calls, because I'm hands free this episode. The last like 3 or 4 tier lists we've done, Oxie's done 1 or 2, but like
a couple of them.
I do control the tier lists a lot, but so this is nice. I'm hands off. I made all the images for this, put all that together. So what are we starting off with today, Oxie? On this fine Thanksgiving day,
I think tradition stands that we kind of start off with like quote unquote appetizer type foods. And I think we come out the gate swinging. I really think we come out the gate swinging, and we just break out all the bread immediately.
Always
off the
bread.
rip. I think we got at least 4 different kinds of bread here to start. I think we go bread off the rip. We'll just do the order we have on there. Crescent rolls. Where are you putting these, Michael? Where are you putting crescent rolls on the tier list?
To me, crescent rolls are the bottomest of the ranking in all the bread. So probably C tier for me. Because they're flaky, they fall apart, they're not all one consistent layer. biscuits aren't either, and we'll get to that. But like at least biscuits have some cohesion. Crescent rolls, like you bite into it and then it's like it's already falling apart and it's getting everywhere. I've not had a crescent roll or a croissant that hasn't fallen apart and got all over everywhere. It's just so flaky. So, yeah, C tier.
See, I don't know if I can justify C tier, but I think I do agree that, well, I don't know. I think that's a tough one. That's a really see, now I'm torn. I don't know what I believe in at this point because I think biscuits and crescent rolls are fighting for that third and fourth place spot. And I know it's going to piss some people off, I'm sure, but I have a hard time. I have a hard time in my head trying to figure out where to put them because I think they're good in a lot of other situations. But as far as Thanksgiving goes,
I have an order in my head and they're all in different tiers.
I would put crescent rolls in the B tier because crescent rolls are good. I have a bias towards bread myself. So I think crescent rolls could be a B tier food, but I think I might agree that they are inferior to the other three breads, if for no other reason than making a sandwich with a crescent roll is not as easy. The others,
no, it's a weird shape.
it's a bit of a strange shape. It's not impossible, but it is a bit of a strange shape. So that is the piece I will add. So what do we think? B, C, because it's hard to argue a warm buttered crescent roll. It really is.
That's true. Fear said the best part, like he likes it when it's flaky. Said that's the best part, especially if you add honey and butter. You have a point. Like I can't
argue with that. That's the thing. I would never say crescent rolls are shit. Let's not get it twisted off the rip here.
Okay,
that's
we could
not
do
what
B
we're
tier.
trying to say.
Honey and butter, put them in the B tier.
B tier. Now, speaking of honey and butter. Next up on the list, biscuits.
Biscuits. Okay, so I had them in my head all in different tiers. In my head, biscuits are A tier because they're so versatile for me. You can have biscuits and gravy. You can have a biscuit like a biscuit breakfast sandwich. You could just have butter on a biscuit. You could put jelly on a biscuit.
Honey on a biscuit ain't too bad.
Honey on a biscuit. You could put like, have you ever had Whataburger? The honey butter chicken biscuit. So like biscuits are very versatile. They can be savory. They can be sweet. There's a lot going on. So those would be A tier for me. Nothing less than A tier.
See, it's tough for me to put them in the A tier. Again, biscuits aren't shit.
Do you just eat dry biscuits all the time?
No.
That's the reality for some people is like they just eat like old dry biscuits and they're like, oh, that is so but if you
I'm not as like grotesquely offended by it. Like I get it, but I'm a Midwestern man, you know, and the unfortunate part about being a Midwestern man is we don't always value our biscuits and gravy as much as other places in the United States do.
It's very true.
So, and I know someone from the Midwest is going to go, I make the best biscuits and gravy on the goddamn planet. And like, yeah, you're probably right. Like they're good for people who don't know. It's not biscuits and like mashed potato gravy. It's like a sausage gravy type thing where you put bits of sausage in there. It's quite fantastic.
We need to make a distinction for our Europeans, especially those in England. A biscuit, what we're talking about, if you've not ever had an American biscuit, it's like a scone. Kind of like it's not even like a scone.
Like a scone.
Damn, what is a biscuit like?
It's like a dinner roll.
Pastry.
It's a dinner roll. It's a flaky dinner roll that you can split in half.
Yeah, it's like a flaky.
That's a American biscuit.
It's like the dough is put in many layers. So when you cook the biscuit, if you pull it apart, like you can pull these thin, like bready layers apart, but it has the consistency of like a thick piece of bread. It's not a cookie.
I might be able to get away with biscuits in the A tier, honestly, because I'm thinking like the applications on Thanksgiving. What do you do with a biscuit on Thanksgiving? You're not having sausage gravy with dinner. You're not putting honey on that bitch at dinner. You know what you are doing? you put in mashed potatoes and ham and turkey
Yes.
inside it. And I think because of that I could put biscuits in the A tier. I'm okay with that. I will allow that this time. Cornbread, Southern boy. I think cornbread is it's kind of a spoiler for the next one. I think these next two are both S tier dishes.
You love cornbread that much? Okay.
Oh my God. Cornbread is off the chain. Oh my God. Cornbread's so good.
Cornbread for me was teetering between C and B.
Yeah. Yo.
I don't know. Maybe I've just not had good cornbread. But like, I love corn. So I won't fight you on that. But okay, so we all know dinner rolls, spoiler alert, they're S tier. Like the King's Hawaiian rolls, dinner rolls, S tier all the way. So
even if they're not King's Hawaiian though, even if they're not King's Hawaiian, dinner rolls are arguably the most reliable food at Thanksgiving.
Yes.
You can't especially you make them yourself cool, you're going hard, but not a lot of people that I know make their own dinner rolls. You buy them from a package, you buy them frozen, or you order them from somewhere. You get 50 dinner rolls. They're really hard to make too dry. They're really hard to make flavorless. And they are usually not at a point where you can't rip them apart and dip them in stuff or make a little sandwich with them. And because they're not served warm, or if they are served warm, it's not as important to refrigerate them afterwards. Right. You can leave dinner rolls out all night long. So you can watch the Lions beat the dog shit out of the Bears, and then you can watch the Cowboys get the dog shit beaten out of them the entire time you're eating dinner rolls. You can do that the whole time.
Yeah.
But
we're talking about cornbread here.
We are talking about cornbread. I'm just trying to justify as to why dinner rolls are unquestionably an S tier food.
Just throw it up there. There's no question.
Just get it up there now.
Cornbread. In my head, the ranking was going to go crescent rolls C tier, cornbread B tier, biscuits A tier, dinner rolls S tier. So as it shakes out, I would be happy with A tier as a compromise to your cornbread S tier.
I can't believe you're going to put it in the C tier. What kind of cornbread have you had? I'm fine with A tier, but I'm curious, who's hurt you with cornbread in the past?
I just think whenever you have cornbread, it's really crumbly, and it goes best with chili for me. So for it to be like a Thanksgiving food, what am I pairing it with? I don't know. I don't even know what it would go well with. It's not a staple for my family to make cornbread. So it's not something I have very often. So maybe I just haven't acquired a good taste for it. But again, I think the downsides to cornbread is it's really crumbly, and generally it's kind of dry. So it needs a pairing of a liquid substance to make it
you have such a way with words, let me tell you.
I'm a podcaster. I gotta get the word count up.
I know if you have bad cornbread, it can taste like that, but I don't think crumbly and dry are always the same thing. Because you can have really moist cornbread that does still kind of fall apart a little bit, and you get a beautiful piece of cornbread. Even you want to keep it simple, a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt, maybe a little bit of honey on it. Keep it simple. Or you pair it with I don't know, dude. You pair cornbread with anything. You pair it with any of the meats. You pair it with turkey, whether it's smoked turkey, fried turkey, whatever it is. Pair it with a little bit of ham. Get a little bit of the ham juice in there. You know how I like my Dearborn hams. We'll get there. Just dip a little bit of that. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of cornbread.
You can put in
maybe it's the innate love of. I don't even know if it's the innate love of soul food, because I don't know if I've ever had good soul food, but I feel like there is a part of me that is I don't know, that cornbread. It's good. S or A, Michael? Where's this going?
You can put it in S tier.
All right, I ain't gonna argue with that. No, he's letting me have him early. He's letting me have him early because he knows what's to come.
I do know what's to come.
All right,
we're going veggies now.
Are we? Do you want to go? Do you want to go veggies? Are they the sides of things?
Well, we could go the max in the starches. We get the potatoes. We
Okay,
could
we
do the
could.
veggies too, though.
We'll figure something out. Baked mac and cheese. Do you see this a lot at your Thanksgivings?
Yes, we do
You see
baked
baked
mac and
mac and cheese a
cheese
lot?
a lot. That's the superior
Really?
way to make mac and cheese. I thought I had both regular mac and baked mac, but I must have missed the regular mac. So we can just call it mac and cheese. It doesn't have to be specifically the baked
Mac
mac.
and cheese in totality, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be specifically baked, but I love baked mac and cheese. So
Baked mac and cheese doesn't make an appearance super often at my family's Thanksgivings.
what about regular mac and cheese?
Also doesn't make an appearance super often. You know, I don't, but here's the thing. I'm not going to shit on baked mac and cheese. I think there's a lot of ways to do mac and cheese wrong. You ever seen those white women on TikTok that just put like the raw noodles and the blocks of cheese and like the water? It's horrendous. So there's a lot of ways to do
called rage
mac
baiting.
and cheese. I honest to God, I think it is. I don't think anyone is that deliberately bad of a cook. I get it if you're trying to feed a lot of people on a budget. Sometimes stuff like that works, but like I see sometimes like chefs review things, and good God, the creations are just simply abysmal.
Is it that guy that like rips the people apart? He's like,
God, he's
5 out of 10 would
fantastic.
eat it at the end.
Yeah, that's 3 out of 10. I'd eat the whole goddamn thing. Like that's yeah, no, I
haven't seen
love
that
him.
guy in so long.
I think
Damn.
he's been on some sort of hiatus, I think, but he's funnier than hell. I could put baked mac and cheese up in like A tier territory. You know, I think if you get it right, baked mac and cheese is A tier territory.
Definitely.
If you get it wrong, I think it's B tier territory. But I think that's a harder nuance to discuss.
I think if it's wrong, bro, that's like D tier. Because like, have you ever had dry, not very cheesy mac and cheese? Ugh.
I'll still eat the whole damn tin. I don't care. Look at me. I'll still eat the whole damn thing.
I will too, but I won't enjoy it.
I won't be happy about it.
Won't be happy. Definitely.
Mac and cheese in the A tier.
A tier.
You can make that
deserves
work.
it to be up there.
We
What's the
got
next
a
one?
slew of potatoes coming in. Or do we want to do stuffing next?
Stuffing's fine. Yeah, let's do stuffing.
Stuffing next. I heard in, I believe it was the patrons chat, Turtle said that Southerners or like Southeast United States tends to do cornbread with their stuffing instead of regular bread, which I think is a spectacular substitute.
That's interesting. I've never been to a Southeastern Thanksgiving, so I could be on board with that, because then that solves like the crumbly dry part of it, you know? Because stuffing generally, at least the stuffing that I had, it's mixed with something more liquid. So it's, and trigger warning for anybody who doesn't like this word, moist. It's moist. So if you keep the cornbread moist, it's better. So stuffing, whether with cornbread or not, though, I think, I don't know where we've put it in years prior, but like C tier.
I know I've said it in the past. Stuffing has grown on me as I've gotten older. You know, stuffing has definitely, it was something I never liked as a kid, but it's something that's grown on me in my old age. I don't know if I ever necessarily have good stuffing. Sometimes it's boxed, sometimes it's homemade. Like actually cutting up the bread pieces.
Oh, you've made homemade stuff? I've never had homemade stuffing.
I've never made that shit. My aunt takes care of most of that. Much to our chagrin. Not because she's bad, because she just does everything. She'll make like 30 dishes by herself. And we'll be like, hey, do you need something? And she's like, yeah, I need you to shut the hell up and let me finish cooking Thanksgiving. Like she does accept help. She's gotten better at accepting help now that we're like adults. But like, it's a lot of like, Aunt Becky will do everything. Like my sister will help make the sweet potatoes, and Aunt Becky will do literally everything else. So,
is your family the family that like cooks everything the day of together, or do you guys bring the dishes? And
sometimes like my mom brings a ham. Sometimes people will bring, like my Aunt Kay brings fruit. Some people will bring wine, things like that. But a bulk of what is being served is usually made there in house.
That's awesome.
So it's made like day of and brought, or made day of at the house. Like
At
my
the house.
mom will probably wake up on Thanksgiving morning, start making the ham, and then it will be like ham doesn't take a lot. Most hams you buy are already pre-cooked. They just need to be heated up all the way through.
Mm.
So my mom will put the ham in the oven, heat it up with the glaze or whatever, and then just keep it in like a warming dish until it's time to rock and roll.
Yeah.
But no, stuffing, like my grandma has a stuffing recipe that is good. My grandma doesn't make it anymore. My grandma's been not alive for a while, but she has a stuffing recipe that my mom's side of the family uses. They seem to like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's good.
I have a question though. Is stuffing supposed to be stuffed into something? Is that the essence of stuffing? Because I've never had a situation where like you're just like pulling stuff out of the back of the turkey and putting it on a plate, you know?
So from what I've come to understand, some people do cook their stuffing inside of the bird itself. My family doesn't do that. And when I cook turkeys, I fill my birds with like apples, pears, onions, thyme, rosemary, things like that. I fill the bird with stuff, but not stuffing.
Gotcha.
Right. And then, but honestly, I think a way that you could go pretty hard with it, cook the stuffing. And then maybe this is how it's supposed to be done. They cut home ec classes long before Michael and I ever made it to school.
Well, I was homeschooled, so
I never did. I went to Catholic school for 12 years. We didn't have home ec shit. But after the bird is cooked, you put the cooked stuffing in the back of the bird for presentation purposes.
Oh.
That could be a good look. And then maybe you take a look, because the bird's already fully cooked, you know?
Yeah.
You fully cook a turkey, you pull the stuff out of the back, and it's not like you're putting, because I think the turnoff is like, oh God, your stuffing's covered in like salmonella and like raw turkey juice. It's like, no, if you do it when it's already cooked, you kind of avoid all that, which is nice. So maybe that's how you're supposed to do it. I've not made a turkey in several years. I have been doing other things, but I've not made it. My honest to God, one of the things I do best at Thanksgiving is mashed potatoes. We'll get there. Stuffing.
I said C tier earlier. Maybe B tier.
I feel we're going to get fought. People are going to get aggressive if we put stuffing in the B tier. I think we're putting stuffing in the B tier. I just think stuffing can survive in the B tier. We are not going to be. People are not going to be the biggest fan of us. It was like we hit a low point. We had double shine, and then we pissed everybody off again. Like with our Thanksgiving episode. It's gonna be a fun week. But now we got the plethora of potatoes. Literally, we've got like the infinity gauntlet of potatoes in front of us right here. So we literally, I think we have like 5 options.
Yep.
Scalloped potatoes. Do you ever eat these on Thanksgiving? S tier, eh?
Cheesy scalloped potatoes go hard. And we're not doing like a traditional Thanksgiving today. So for me, we're like my family's doing a breakfast Thanksgiving, which if you ask me, I'm against the idea, but everybody else is okay with it. I even like I love my sister, but she said in the group chat, she's like, yeah, I can bring like yogurt and granola and like fruit. And I'm like, you expect me to get so full I can't get off the couch with yogurt? No, that's not happening. That's not happening. So it's not going to happen this year, but I would like to make cheesy scalloped potatoes for next Thanksgiving and report back, because I haven't had them in a while, but I have fond memories of my papaw making cheesy scalloped potatoes and it being delicious. And that picture, oh, so good.
Do yourselves a favor. Go on Instagram, follow a guy named Chef Zealand. He's a big fella, red hair, kind of talks with some sort of lisp or something like that. This man throws down in the kitchen. And he just made a cheesy scalloped potato video.
Ooh.
And I gotta love with you. It looked pretty damn good. I don't feel like we ever have scalloped potatoes. I really don't. I don't think we do scalloped potatoes super often. I don't dislike them, but I think this might be like not my least favorite of the options of potatoes that we have there. I could amend and put it in the S tier. You know, I scratch your back, you scratch mine down the road.
I don't. This is not my back scratching moment.
Oh.
we need to save that for later. So if you wanted to throw it in the B or the A, I'm not.
Look, I like never had potatoes.
It, so like
no, I've had it. I like
okay.
it. It's just not a Thanksgiving staple for me. I have no attachment to it. I don't care. Right? I think that if we wanted to do A or S, like I don't know, flip a coin at that point.
A.
Like I
Just
don't
put
think
it in A.
split it in A. That's fine. We can split it in A. That'll work. What do we have next? Potato salad. Controversial, I'm sure. Potato salad, I think, could go pretty hard on Thanksgiving.
It always goes hard at my house, dude.
It's Thanksgiving is a very hot holiday with food, and the counter of the cold potato salad.
Yeah.
Oh baby.
Yeah.
Oh baby.
My mom makes it like fresh most of the time. If she's having a busy week or a busy day, she'll go up to Kroger and just get like homemade or like a packaged potato salad. But even then, I think you can't go wrong with any sort of potato salad, in my opinion. So
I think potato salad is easy to mess up, but it's not.
But it's also easy to make, right?
Yeah, it's not. It's easy to mess up, but I think if you also have to buy a potato salad, usually it's going to be fine. I'm sure somebody does not agree with that take, but potato salads. I think potato salad's pretty damn good. Potato salad could be an A tier food. I think it's done correctly. Potato salad. Yeah. Potato salad can be an A tier food.
A tier for sure.
Now, I'm a level with you. This next one's a S tier.
Baked potatoes?
The baked potato going in the S tier.
You like the variant of baked?
I need you to reason with me why you think it shouldn't be in the S tier.
Okay. I'm trying to think of why it shouldn't. And I don't have a ton of reasons. I think maybe, and this could be like for other people, not for me specifically, but there are certain people out there who despise like potato skins. Like the skin of potato, they just like eat around it and then like, yeah, I'm done. I take those off of people's plate and eat it like chips. Like,
you want me to cut the crust off of your sandwiches too?
Just
you have to
the skins.
Drink your water out of a sippy cup.
Well,
what do you mean you don't like the potato skin?
The skin is like
what's wrong
a different
with you?
texture. It's a different flavor. So like if you want just the mushy part of the potato and that's what you like, then that's what you like. Some people don't like the flavor or the texture of the skin. S tier is fine because there's so many ways you can do a baked potato. And generally it's just loaded up with butter and sour cream for me. And you can't go wrong.
Salt, hot sauce.
Hot sauce?
Butter, salt,
what kind of hot sauce?
Like I'm a Frank's guy. I'm a Frank's guy. So like as the slogan says, I put that shit on everything, dude. I love Frank's.
Is that their slogan?
Yeah. I think it is. I love Frank's, dude. I can't get enough of it, dog. I love Frank's.
That's hilarious.
I'd put it on cereal if I could. I love Frank's hot sauce.
Too far.
Let me tell you.
Too far.
You know what's even better when you get like that artisanal hot sauce? There was one time we were in Columbus, Ohio for 21 Pilots Tour Day Columbus years ago. And we went to this gigantic market in Columbus and they had this hot sauce stand where you could take little pretzels and try a bunch of little stuff. So I tried some sauce from there, loved it, bought it, and oh my God. If I could go back in time to 2018, when I would make my little Key West pink shrimp and just massive baked potatoes. I don't know what's happened to me. I can't get a baked potato right anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's happened.
Like 5 minutes. Call it a day.
I think I'm going to be sick. Microwave? What do you mean? You don't get the crispy skin in a microwave. What's wrong with you?
I don't know. I haven't actually baked a baked potato.
Oh my God.
Maybe in the air fryer?
XP Wasters. Oh my God. XP Wasters, I need your help. I'm going to have a heart attack talking to Michael. I don't know what I've been doing wrong. I clean the potato. I pat it down dry. I stab it with a fork a million times to get all the whatever. put it on the baking tray. I'll do like 40 minutes at 400 degrees. I'll pop that bitch open. It will be stiff on the inside. I don't know what I am doing wrong. Do I need to cover it in foil? Do I need to put it in a little thing? I don't know what
I think it's
I am doing wrong, because I would kill a man. Wonderfully seasoned shrimp, a good like side vegetable, like a nice broccoli crown, and then a baked potato. Michael, I would walk like 8 miles a day when I went to Michigan State, because I didn't have a car and it's a big campus. So I would walk all day doing class. I would come home, make my food, and the shrimp was good, but dude, the potato skins were like the highlight of the meal.
Mm-hmm.
You get butter and like nice like the little kosher salt. Oh my god, It was impeccable. I don't know what I've been doing wrong to make them, but baked potatoes are nice to your food for me.
I think it's probably the tin foil, because that's what I've seen people do when they make a baked potato in the oven, is just wrap it in some tin foil.
Yeah, like I want my skin to be crispy is the thing. That's if you guys know the secret.
Maybe you
if you guys know the secret.
Yeah.
And pan sear it? What are you getting?
No. So maybe you cook it in the tin foil for your 40 minutes or whatever, and then just like broil for the last couple.
That could be the tack. Could be the tack to broil it. I don't know. I just know that I myself need to up my potato game, because if y'all don't know, potatoes are a spectacular source of like antioxidants and shit like that. If you guys are like
fiber,
oh my god, I want to start eating healthy, fiber. but it's so expensive. Potatoes are so cheap, and they are the healthy superfoods that are being marketed at like super expensive rates. You don't need like guava and all this other random bullshit. Potatoes are so healthy. Eating the skins are so healthy. It's fantastic. You can eat the skins of potatoes. You know, honestly, what I've seen people do, which I'm really excited to try, you take the skins of the potatoes. There's this really mean lesbian chef that I follow. I don't remember her. Olivia Cook, I think. I don't think that's her name. But she always gives people the middle finger when she cooks. And I saw a video. She like skinned the potato and then deep fried them.
Oh,
you deep fry the skins and you serve it with whatever. It's like a little garnish.
Ooh.
Oh my god, impeccable. Everything she cooks is also a banger. She's like a private chef or something like that.
Wow.
So I think it's Olivia something. I don't have her handle in front of me, but you'll know her when you see her. It's rock and roll music and a lot of middle fingers, and you found the right gal. You can do so much with potatoes, and I just want to be able to get my baked potato game back on top, because that's so easy. That was my thing in college. Come home, set it and forget it. Potato for 45 minutes. Eat that bitch like a feral animal, barehanded, covered in butter and hot sauce. Oh, it's to die for, man. I tell you.
Yeah. I think S tier.
You
put it already.
It's already up there. It's already up there, brother.
I wasn't paying attention.
I've heard so many mixed reviews about mashed potatoes. Sometimes they're good. People love them. They're like the highlight of the meal. Sometimes people say mashed potatoes are a consistency thing and they're gross and they're nasty. Why would you ever want a mashed potato? You ever run into that? People who don't like mashed potatoes for the texture?
Not ever. No.
It's happened to me more than I would like.
You need to reevaluate your friendships.
They're family members, dog. I don't know.
Well, that's even easier.
I don't know what to tell you. But
disowned.
Where are you putting mashed potatoes, Michael?
S tier.
Good man. I love making these. What's your thing that you make? Do you make anything? Like if you had to like throw down for Thanksgiving, what do you, because I could talk all day and night about the shit that I cook. What do you make?
I started a tradition last year of making banana pudding. So that's my thing, is making a good banana pudding. And I made it last year and it was delicious. And I'm excited to try it this year again, even though we're having a breakfast Thanksgiving. I think that like as a good way to round off the late breakfast, having a nice banana pudding would go hard. So that is like a main dish though, I don't really make anything. I really should try and have a staple thing that I make, but I don't have anything.
My thing's mashed potatoes. Again, my aunt is not about that. It's not that she doesn't like anyone to help her. She's just, everyone on my mom's side of the family is, I will do everything. You don't have to lift a finger as a host. So it's very interesting to get them all together because they all have that host mentality of like, I'm going to do everything and you are going to be the most comfortable guest in the world. But when they're at each other's houses, those things are like, no, you sit down. No, you sit down. No, you sit down. Everybody do that. No, you sit down. It's kind of fun to watch. And I'm very much the same way at this point. I'm basically an old aunt. If I were given free reign, you gotta respect the aunt's kitchen. You can't be up in that if you don't want you in there. But like, if given free reign, I'll gladly make a bunch of this stuff. You can just sit down and do whatever the hell you want. I'll do whatever. I had a dinner date many moons ago, and I had that same mentality. And the person I brought over for the date was like, "Oh, are we gonna make food together?" And it just like didn't click for a little bit in my head. I was like, "Is that a cute thing to do? Make dinner together?"
Yes.
Because in my head, I was like,
"You want to be the provider?"
I was like, this is like red. No, not even that. Like it's host brain.
Yeah.
You have a guest over. The guest isn't gonna cook, let alone do dishes. Are you fucking crazy? You're gonna try to make your guest do dishes? What's wrong with you? So
I see where you're coming from.
Host brain is like, no. You sit there. I'll take care of literally everything and do that. But I did end up making dinner together that night, which doesn't work super well in my apartment with no counter space. But what can you do? That's besides the point. I love making mashed potatoes.
Yum.
Mashed potatoes, Parmesan cheese, butter, salt, other seasonings that you like to toss in there, a little bit of garlic powder.
Here's the question.
Potatoes are fun.
Here's the question. We talked about the skins. Are you a mashed potato with skins on kind of guy?
If they're red skin potatoes, yes.
Okay. Oh, okay.
If they're for russet potatoes, I take them off. For red skin potatoes, I leave them on. I think red skin mashed potatoes with the skin still on pairs really well with like steak and things like that. Not as good for Thanksgiving, in my opinion.
So you are a peel it for Thanksgiving though.
For Thanksgiving, well, it's the type of potato, right? Like Yukon Gold and russet potatoes. Peel the skin. Call it. Obviously, if you're baking them, doesn't matter. Eat the skin regardless.
True.
But like,
I'm a potato skin on just a little bit. Like you don't have to get them naked as a mole rat. Like you can roughly skin them, but if there's a couple of skins left in there, makes it just like that added little flavor and texture.
Oh, bro, I'm too specific with it. I'm too much of a perfectionist of like, if the potato has too much skin left on it, I will just fight it to the death. I'll get all the skin off that bitch. I like the skins, but I can't leave a job unfinished, So
well, I guess it depends on the way you look at it, because to me that's part of the job is like not getting it perfect. But I don't make mashed potatoes, so there's something to be said about how you make yours, and you like it the way you like it. I think in the picture I put, it is a little bit chunky. Oh, that's another good question, I guess, too. Do you go for like whipped, creamy, no chunks, or do you like your mashed potatoes with a little bit of chunkiness?
Chunky mashed potatoes? I've had it once. So one time, same aunt, same Thanksgiving. We've done the same thing for Thanksgiving for like a decade. We always go to my Aunt Becky's house. There was one time we were all of us were kind of, how do I put it? We were hitting the punch a little early. Because every year my Aunt Bet, like, she makes all this great food, but one of her signature things is there's always some weird alcohol cocktail. And there was one year where it was just sort of like, I don't know, it's in juice. And it was a bunch of like, my sister would remember what was in there, but because, man, I was absolutely fucked that Thanksgiving. I was so drunk. There's a great picture of me, my mom, and my sister. My mom loves it. She has it framed. She absolutely loves this picture. My sister and I are fucking wasted in this photo because of the punch. I think that was the same year that my Aunt Becky just kind of forgot about the mashed potatoes and there was my cousin's uncle on their dad's side, Uncle Scott, was a professional chef, and he said, "Don't worry, I can fix it." And turns out not even he could fix it. I don't know what Aunt Becky did to these potatoes, but he couldn't fix it. And we had chunky mashed potatoes then. They were like big chunks though. So like these potatoes just like were nowhere near done. He's like, I did the best I could, but they're not. They're not great. I'm not a big chunky mashed potato guy. I'll run them through. I don't think I have one of the things you like press the potatoes through, but I'll hand mash them and I'll get the beaters out and do all that stuff. I'll make sure they're pretty thoroughly creamed. I'm just gonna leave that in. Yep.
What's next?
The final of the potato gauntlet here. The last is the sweet potato casserole.
Well, okay, so we should have regular sweet potatoes on this list, but I
knew
forgot.
we were going to have this debate. I knew we were going to have this debate. Sweet potatoes, are they a dessert food or are they an entree?
They're an entree. But sweet potato casserole could be both. I've seen it both ways. I don't like sweet potatoes, so anything lower or anything higher than like B tier, I'll have a hard time with it because to me, it's a specific taste. Like the two foods that I don't like, and I'm very much, I'll eat what you put in front of me. I am not a picky eater when it comes to like food, but I don't like cantaloupe and I don't like sweet potatoes. It's like, I can't really even explain it. It's just it's the flavor. I've never really liked either of those foods. And so even with like dolling it up with the making it sweet, it just hasn't ever been appealing. Maybe I could be convinced to eat a sweet potato with a lot of fixins. So butter, whatever, sour cream, salt, whatever you put in it. But that has not been presented to me in a way that I've been able to partake in it. Otis asked in the recording booth, sweet potato fries. I will eat sweet potato fries, oddly enough, if there's enough ranch or ketchup. And if they're cooked well and they're crispy, sweet potato fries are fine to me. But like a baked sweet potato or a sweet potato casserole just has never been. I skip that in the food line when everybody's getting up to get their plates ready. I just skip it.
See, sweet potatoes are my sister's thing. I don't know how my sister managed to pull this off. She's one of the few people that has a job when we go to Aunt Becky's house for Thanksgiving. She's one of the few people because she does the sweet potatoes.
You're the potato guy, and she's a sweet potato gal.
I don't know. I don't know how my sister managed to pull it off. It's been every year. I think it's like 1 year we were in a pinch, and my sister started doing it, and then after that, Aunt Becky was like, "Yeah, you did a great job with it last year. Do it again." My sister was like, "Hell yeah!" She's makes the sweet potatoes. She's in charge of all that. Nice. Unfortunately, my sister lives on what I lovingly refer to as the shoots and twigs diet. So it's never sweet potato casserole. It's like mashed sweet potatoes.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of butter, a little bit of salt. Maybe if you're lucky, someone's convinced her to put a little bit of cinnamon in there. But
okay.
She isn't a marshmallow, sugar, brown sugar, any other bullshit type of whatever. She'll just make them as they are, and they're good. I like them. I like me. Them sweet potatoes are good. I can't even knock her for it because I don't know how I feel about a bunch of marshmallows on my Thanksgiving plate. I just don't.
I mean, even as a dessert, like you're done with your entree and you've loaded up on the casserole as a dessert.
So see, for me as a dessert, it just doesn't hit the same, man.
Yeah, I don't know. We could put it in the C tier and move on. Ugh.
I feel like that's too low. I feel like that's too disrespectful to sweet potatoes. Yeah, that is disrespectful to the sweet potato to put it in the C tier.
That's where I would put it, so I don't know where you think it should go.
This is going to end up being a B tier compromise because, frankly, I don't think you can have Thanksgiving without sweet potatoes. This is going to be a B tier compromise. It has to be a B tier compromise angle because I don't know how. If you don't like them, how do you budge? How do you budge on that if you don't even like them?
There's going to need to be some budging later, is all I'm saying.
About that, I feel like
have to be some budging.
In the beans I don't know about
that are green category.
I don't know about that
later. So I don't know. This is where I'm gonna fight my battle. So you can put it in B, but just know what's coming.
Listen, I think this is an A tier food. I'm saying B tier compromise because you're out here with these heretical opinions about sweet potatoes in the damn C tier. If I was generosity,
if this was Michael's, if this was just me, if this was my tier list, sweet potato casserole and sweet potatoes would be in the F tier. That's how much I don't care for them. So I think C was generous, but B tier compromise could be the play.
I don't,
because this is like the gloves warm up for me. We're warming up to the the verbal.
I don't understand. Did you have sweet potatoes from last year?
I don't think I had sweet potatoes last year. No.
And you're not even going to have them this year because you're having pancakes and waffles.
Not this year either. I do have my wife's family's Thanksgiving, and I don't know if we'll have sweet potatoes there either. So potentially,
I need you to glom that shit up.
Just put stuff in it. What is glom?
No, you glom it up.
What's glom?
I don't know. It's a term. My fish glom it up. You know,
like
no.
Nom nom nom.
What do I look like? The word police? I don't know.
It's hard for me to see you, so I'm getting the
right.
audio
I don't have
version.
a camera on. Yeah, because my camera on Discord
I can't
is broken.
see what you're doing.
That would make sense because I'm taking two like metaphorical spoons, just like like shoveling it into my mouth. You know exactly. Yeah,
okay.
You got the motion down.
Okay,
I'll try it. Blind. I forgot Michael was blind this episode. He doesn't know. You guys have no idea what I look like. Damn.
Well, you have your camera on recording, hopefully.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Could you imagine? It's just a black, like Michael on a black screen for the first hour and 20 minutes of the show.
In the tier list. If that were the case, I would just not put my video up.
Michael arguing with ghosts, you know, for the whole episode.
Okay.
We've got one transitionary food that, like, why the fuck is this at Thanksgiving?
S tier.
You've got to be fucking
This
kidding.
Is the S tier of all S tiers.
This is you're trying to tell me the deviled egg.
Deviled eggs
is an S tier food.
S plus.
You are, and I say this with the least amount of love possible. Fucking crazy.
S plus. There is usually about 2 deviled eggs per person limit. I sneak at least 5. Like, we haven't even started lunch or dinner, and I'm over there at the table. I lift up the little lid that's covering the deviled eggs, and I sneak one. The whole thing, one bite. I love deviled eggs. You put a little paprika on the top too. Ooh.
I need to see if my camera works because I need you to see the visceral reaction. Deviled eggs. This is an F tier food.
There's no way.
If you bring these to Thanksgiving,
you can't have 2 F tiers, Oxie.
Yeah, if you bring these to Thanksgiving, I'm sorry. There's what the hell is wrong with you? Deviled eggs are so gross.
What is gross about it?
Are so gross.
You don't like hard-boiled eggs. That's the problem.
Hard-boiled eggs can burn in hell. Deviled eggs, there's a reason the devil made these eggs in hell. Yes, and then sent them to you as a punishment for your sins.
That's not the etymology of that word, dude.
I think these can't stand deviled eggs. They here's what pisses me off about deviled eggs. They look so enticing. Deviled eggs look like they are going to be just unmatched in their deliciousness. Deviled eggs, I think that's why they're called deviled, because they're deceiving, like the devil.
There's nothing to do with evil
and
when
they
they named the egg.
It's crazy because it's just,
Devil food cakes. I don't think that's an evil type of cookie or cake. Devil's food? No. Well, there's angel food. Devil's food. Maybe. I don't know. It's deviled because it's dastardly delicious.
I think that's a lie. I really do, because like if you're gonna sit me in front of a plate of deviled eggs, I'm gonna tell you it looks great because I know it looks great, and what part of me wants to like deviled eggs.
Do you like eggs? Just like
yeah,
okay, but you don't
scrambled
like
eggs
hard-boiled
over
eggs.
easy. Hard-boiled eggs are a sin against man and God. I hate hard-boiled eggs.
There's
but
where you've
I
gone
like
wrong.
eggs Benedict. So
You like poached eggs?
oh yeah, poached eggs are great.
Okay. I don't know how to talk to you right now because like if you don't like hard-boiled eggs, you're just not gonna like deviled eggs.
This is
So-
why it pisses me off, because they look like a better kind of egg. And it's just hard-boiled eggs with extra steps.
Yeah, but like it's creamy and it's got the soft white and it's got some flavor in the yolks. Normally, like cooked yolk, if it's fully cooked, I will admit to you, not the best. It's dry, it sticks to the roof of your mouth. But like, you ever had like an egg sandwich, like an egg
Yeah.
salad sandwich, where you take eggs, you chop them up, you mix them with like mayonnaise, and then you put it on a sandwich bread? Or is that just me?
It's not I don't know if I've ever had one, but it's not like an out of pocket thing to have as a meal.
So like the creamy yolk, and it's not dry, and it's not sticking to the roof of your mouth, and then the nice soft white of the egg, all packaged in a little canoe that just glides down the river of your throat. Oh,
You just keep talking and it keeps getting worse.
So where are you where are you putting this? Because I don't think we're gonna agree, obviously. So where do we put it?
Where are you willing to make a deal with me here? Because this is an F tier food. Like
anything less than B tier is a sin against man.
oh, I feel the same way about deviled eggs as I feel about pesto. I should like pesto, but I hate it.
Do you have that gene that makes like cilantro taste bad, but for eggs?
No, I don't. Funny enough, I don't have the gene that makes cilantro taste like soap. I just don't like cilantro. I like cilantro flavored things, but when I listen,
you are so cultured in
when I go
most
when I go to
things.
when I go to a taqueria and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's got cilantro on the taco." And they hand me this beautifully handcrafted taco with just a pile of shit on it, and it's
onions and
just
cilantro.
but
Street
it's
tacos?
too much cilantro.
No, bro,
It's
that's
too much cilantro. It doesn't taste like soap. It just tastes bad. I like cilantro, like cilantro lime rice. That's fine. There can be cilantro in and on things. It's a good additive. But when you're just like sucking on the leaves, I don't like it. I don't understand. I don't like pesto either.
Fear says this is a C tier compromise, and I think it's a B tier compromise because I wanted S++, and this man's content with an F tier for deviled eggs. So B tier, right in the middle.
That's not the middle.
So there's two between B and C, or there's two between F and B, and if I put it in S+, A and S are in the middle. There's an invisible
the S+ tier doesn't exist.
It's invisible. Because you would be content to put it in the F plus or the F minus. Lower than F.
I don't.
Stop making throw up sounds. You're being dramatic.
I have never been dramatic a day in my life, sir. What do you mean?
We need to move on. And if it has to be in the C tier, so be it.
I can foresee myself using this as currency to make you a deal later.
Probably.
So we can put it in the B tier, but I'm only doing it to make you a deal later.
There's nothing I like more than what you're talking about. So.
It's locked in. All right, Michael, here's a question. Do we want to go into the vegetables or do we want to go into like We have some like
Sides?
other like cranberry sauce gravies.
Let's do the
you know?
sides. Let's do the weird ones you don't normally
All right,
have
these
as a
are
main
so.
course.
So these three are the ones I'm thinking of because we got
Yes.
like desserts and then.
Yeah.
All right. Cranberry sauce.
sauce. Again, for the last 2 years in a row, and this will be the third year in a row, I don't understand it. I don't see the allure. I've never had homemade cranberry sauce. I just don't get it. So maybe somebody would have to culture me a bit to be in the understanding of why this, like, to have some understanding as to why this is a thing or what makes it good. But in the picture we have, it's like jellified and in a can and just like comes out whole. And what do you do with
jellied
that?
cranberry sauce.
What do
So
you do with that?
I think the idea is that the cranberry sauce acts as like a counter to all the savory, right? The cranberry sauce is sweet.
Sure, I could see that.
Cranberry sauce is sweet and everything else is very savory.
But
and
dude, that's what like jelly on your biscuit is for.
But
or like the sweet corn.
I think you think sweet corn counteracts savory flavors?
No, but just throwing things out there.
I think that particular cranberry sauce looks fucking nasty. I want nothing to do with the jelly cranberry sauce. But I can make a really mean raspberry sauce. Now, my raspberry sauce is primarily a dessert sauce, right? It's got a shit ton of sugar, a little bit of liqueur in there. It's not meant to be put on savory foods. But I was told in great detail while our drunken druid last night was explaining how to make cranberry sauce.
In character, or was this like
both?
Was she doing it in the game as like part of the game? Because that'd be hilarious.
I don't think it was part of the game, but even if it was part of the game, it would make sense. The process of making cranberry sauce is very similar to the process of making my raspberry sauce. And I know how my raspberry sauce tastes. I think it tastes great. I still don't know how I feel about putting it on things. But
so B, C, D tier. First D tier.
I wish I could almost come back to this because I'm curious to make my own this time around because the jelly stuff can burn in hell. I want nothing to do with jellied cranberry sauce. It looks gross. Consistency is nasty. If it jiggles like I do, I don't want to eat it. I don't want that. No thanks. I'm good. Don't need it. Leave it off my plate. But if it was actually like a sauce, could that go hard over particularly like a roasted turkey? Who knows?
Ooh.
Maybe it's something that I could make this year because, like, I don't give a fuck. I can make it. It's easy enough. But, like, maybe, you know? So I wish I could come back to this, but alas, I cannot.
The only thing I have a reference for is there is a chain restaurant called Cheddar's. I don't know if it's like a national thing. It's here in Texas. They make Monte Cristo, which if you've not had a Monte Cristo, it's a deep fried sandwich. It's delicious. Good. So it's got ham and turkey, deep fried with like cheese in it. They give you a little like strawberry sauce. It may be strawberry. I think it's strawberry. It may also be raspberry. I'm not sure. But they give you a little like jelly sauce with it. And the savoriness of the deep fried sandwich in contrast with like the jelly is delicious. So I could potentially understand where cranberry sauce comes in. I've just never had it. And I'm not ever going to have jellied cranberry sauce. That just, to me, that's...
All right, here's the deal. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to stick cranberry sauce in the D tier where it belongs. However, we're also going to attempt to make our own cranberry sauce this year. You have a breakfast Thanksgiving, bring a cranberry jelly. Who gives a shit? It'll work. I don't know if I'll be able to bring it to Thanksgiving, but I think it doesn't seem like very difficult to do. If it's a similar process to what I normally do for my raspberry stuff, it's like 2 minutes. It doesn't take that much. I'll shoot the text out today and say, hey, I think I'm going to fuck around and make cranberry sauce just for laughs. I'll tell them I'll make cranberry sauce for the podcast and they'll be all for it. My little cousin owns one of our Zalra hoodies because he likes
sick.
the design of it, and it's gotten to a point this year where they sometimes listen to the Thanksgiving episode because they are like, there's a video of my aunt yelling at me about green bean casserole after one of the episodes had come out, where she's like, I don't care, eat the damn green beans, or whatever it was. Nobody's particularly sober when we get into Thanksgiving, so you never know what you're gonna get, but
it's amazing.
I could see making my own. I gotta tell you, if I try it and it sucks, this is F tier forever.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it's F tier forever, because you know what I also don't particularly like, and maybe it's just because I've only ever had it in the context of a college student in a dorm. Cranberry juice. Not a fan.
Oh.
Not a fan of cranberry juice. And I will admit, when cranberry juice is only paired with like Burnett's vodka or Svedka, it's not a good combo. But like something about like Ocean Spray cranberry juice, it's like the harbinger of death. Like you see a 6-pack of those on the table, either somebody's hit rock bottom or everyone's going to have a bad time. Like that's kind of how I feel. So I don't know. It's tough, but D tier it is. Brown gravy.
This one is just going to be like a compare and contrast, I think, between brown and white gravy.
I definitely have opinions for sure.
Yeah.
But brown gravy is the thread that ties the meal together. As such, S tier.
Yes. Well,
I was gonna say, okay. What you got thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm just trying to decide if I like brown or white better, because I will put white gravy on everything.
Happily. Do you want my opinion?
I know you probably don't like white gravy.
No, I like white gravy. White gravy belongs nowhere near Thanksgiving dinner. Get that shit out of here. What's wrong with you?
It could go either way for me.
That's That's to me, that is the equivalent of a Thanksgiving dinner with like a cereal station. Why? That doesn't make any sense. That's not a Thanksgiving
Have you ever
food.
had...
That's a breakfast food.
No. Have you ever had chicken fried steak with gravy?
Yeah, I have.
That's not a breakfast food.
It's the only exception.
Biscuits and gravy? Not a breakfast food.
No. Breakfast food.
You can have biscuits and gravy whenever you want.
You can also have pancakes whenever you want. They're still
it's not only a breakfast food. You can have biscuits and gravy for dinner. When you go to the breakfast aisle, biscuits and gravy are not there. It's in the whatever time of day. So white gravy isn't just in your head it is, but I'm just saying for probably a lot of other people like me, it's not just, and it may be a Southern thing. I may be having a Southern persuasion here with the white gravy, because I think Midwest doesn't really do a lot of white gravy.
So let me tell you, up here in the Great White North, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. White gravy has no place in my Thanksgiving table. Sorry, it's just how it goes.
So then I think we need to have a mutual understanding that they're both S tier.
On a Thanksgiving tier list, you want them both to be S tier because they're good outside of Thanksgiving?
Well, your Great White North Christmas or Thanksgiving doesn't have white gravy, but a nice Southern Thanksgiving does. Very rarely do I see a brown gravy. I will tell you that much.
Are we going to the same Thanksgivings?
We're not. We live in different regions of the world. I don't know if you know that.
How do you have Thanksgiving without brown gravy?
1,000 miles is
you get the gravy from the turkey. What do you mean?
I'm just telling you, it's not always brown gravy, because biscuits and gravy are not. It's not just Southern
sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes can burn in hell, but you have to understand white gravy is also S tier. Rat bitch.
I do, and that's why I'm saying both are S tier. We're not ranking one over the other.
I feel like we kind of are in the context of Thanksgiving.
I think you're really overlooking the fact that you are only seeing this list in the context of your Midwest Thanksgiving.
You know me, unable to see it through another culture's perspective. You are correct.
Very unable. So could just concede that white gravy may be popular elsewhere, and it's fine that you haven't had it at your Thanksgiving.
I don't agree with this placement at all. I really don't. I don't agree with white gravy in the S tier. White gravy is a B, maybe a C tier food for Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Whatever. I don't know who the hell is making biscuits and gravy on Thanksgiving. You're going to a breakfast Thanksgiving. That makes sense. I don't.
outside of breakfast, bro, I would have biscuits and gravy at Thanksgiving. It's delicious.
Whatever, dude. Whatever, man. Man's afraid of sweet potatoes, but you know what? Whatever. We're gonna get too mean if we get personal with it now. All right.
You should get personal.
It's the vegetable section, so I'm sure it's gonna get violent here very soon. I feel like we have this conversation every year about this particular vegetable. How do you feel about asparagus?
A tier, maybe B tier. Probably A tier. Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's in the C C or anything lower. It could be. It's A for me, and I think for you that's not true because I think you love asparagus, knowing our past conversations. So it's probably your S tier vegetable. But I just don't feel like, and here's my reasoning. It's good. It's very good. Asparagus, of the vegetables, it's very good taste-wise. I feel like when I eat asparagus, I'm left wanting more, but there's never enough. Like I feel like I could put back a whole bushel of asparagus. But when my family makes it, we get like 2 to 3 stalks a piece. I'm like, is it even worth it at this point? Am I going to be sad that I don't have enough asparagus? So why even give it, like why even try? Mima says, so just buy more. I guess.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's vegetables are not expensive. Asparagus is at most $3.50 a pound.
I feel like asparagus is pretty expensive.
I
Anyway,
don't know where you shopping.
I like asparagus, but it's not my favorite vegetable.
So I'm actually gonna take what you thought I was gonna say and turn it on its head. Asparagus is an S tier vegetable. Asparagus is delicious. It pairs well with so many meals, and it's one of my go-tos. Super easy to make. Olive oil, seasoning, throw it in the oven. If my Blackstone's available, throw it on the Blackstone. It's asparagus itself, truly spectacular meal. However, much like white gravy, this has no place at Thanksgiving. Asparagus
Really?
is not a Thanksgiving food. No, I think because I make asparagus all of the time normally, this is not a Thanksgiving meal. This never has been a Thanksgiving meal to me. You know, asparagus.
Does your family bring it,
Asparagus is
though?
not. No,
Oh,
and we fuck with asparagus. We love it, but it's just not.
it's your
Asparagus
house.
itself.
It's in your house. It's in your house. That's your house words.
We fuck with asparagus, but not at Thanksgiving. It's a
I don't know.
it's a bit of a long saying. I don't think I've ever seen asparagus at our Thanksgiving holidays, and frankly, I don't think I need to. I don't think asparagus belongs at Thanksgiving dinner. So while it is an S tier vegetable in the context of Thanksgiving, I could put it B or C because I don't know if it.
Hold on.
I don't know if it. I don't think it has room on the plate. It's so good, and I would put it on the plate absolutely because I too could eat myself a bushel of asparagus. I love that shit. But I don't
Okay.
know when stacked against, I don't know.
In terms of like this tier list, when did the criteria become it has to be on my plate for it to be good? If you were to have asparagus,
Okay,
at your
isn't the
Thanksgiving.
definition of a tier list, if I want to put it on my plate, I'm going to rank it higher?
I'm just saying.
Because you don't put sweet potatoes on your plate, but those ended up where they ended up.
But you do.
Yeah, but I'll throw deviled eggs across the goddamn
I'm just
room before I
saying,
put one on my plate. And they ended up in B
asparagus-
tier.
Asparagus is at my Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's.
So why's it got to be ranked low? I feel like
I'm
a
just
lot of
saying
people
it's
eat
where
asparagus
I'm just
at
saying
Thanksgiving.
it's where I would. We should start a poll. Actually,
It
We
is
should-
a Thanksgiving food. I feel like
I
all the
agree with
vegetables we
that.
have on here are Thanksgiving food.
I
Like,
think any vegetable, like I guess you could argue that any vegetable could be at a Thanksgiving.
Well,
but,
here's
like,
the thing. I left some off. Like we had creamed spinach or like spinach casserole.
Burn in hell,
Like
burn in
that
hell.
was like I've never heard anybody have spinach, just a side of soupy, wet spinach on a plate. Like, ugh.
That's a visceral reaction to spinach right there. I'll eat spinach in things, but like, you hand me a plate of cooked spinach. No
Why?
thanks, dog.
Why did you cook it? Just
I mean,
leave
it's
it
good.
raw.
It's good cooked in things. Like you could combine
Sure,
spinach with a
yeah.
lot of stuff, and it adds a nice flavor.
Which like a sopping
it.
wet pile of spinach. We didn't include it for a reason, so we're not going to talk about it. Asparagus is good, and it deserves. If you're going to be pedantic about it, then put it in the B tier. But it deserves at least A tier.
Where do you? Okay. I'll give you the A tier for asparagus because it is a fantastic vegetable. Normally, it is an S tier vegetable. It doesn't belong in Thanksgiving. I will concede the A tier for asparagus.
Cool. Very nice.
Corn.
S.
God, there are so many corn options. Holy shit.
And they're all S tier.
You gonna convince me to put my fucking cream corn at the S tier?
S tier.
And how do you plan on doing that?
I don't have a lot of persuasion, but I'm going to ask you to rank every single piece of corn in the list in the S tier. Corn is my favorite vegetable, followed closely by green beans. But like my number one vegetable of all time is corn, and I will eat it any way it comes. Any way you present me with corn, it is going in my stomach. So I'm just biased, I think, because some people don't like corn. I could admit that I'm a little biased, but for it being my favorite vegetable, I think I would just, all of them are instant S tier. So if you have an argument as to why it should be lower, I may consider your argument. You know, I've seen some ways that Michael wouldn't eat corn swole. Yes, there are certain ways when you're done with the meal, it's the next day, I'm not eating that corn. I'm pretty sure that's what you mean.
That's horrible. That's the worst thing ever said on this podcast. Oh my God.
But what you're inferring, yes, not that. But like fresh corn, it's been cooked. There's no extra things that had to happen for it to be here. We're not doing that. So where are you putting? I'm interested. Okay, I'm just gonna sit back. I'm interested to see where you would rank these three. Okay. Before you say it, one more thing. I would say there's one of them that maybe is a little bit less appealing. You probably know which one it is. But keep going. Put it up there. Keep a little higher. Bro, you're going to do me dirty like that? Oh, that's diabolical.
Talk me through it. Why in the world should those rankings be any different? A little higher cream corn above the D tier?
Creamed corn, dude. You don't like cream and corn?
That's the thing. You
don't
like
corn soup.
You don't like fried chicken and chocolate sauce?
That's out of left field.
You don't. Huh?
Fried chicken and chocolate sauce. Are you saying savory and sweet?
Mixed together. You like cream? You like corn?
Yeah, cream corn. I'd eat fried chicken and chocolate. I'd try that. That sounds good, actually. It's like chicken and waffles. You ever had chicken and waffles? Syrup on waffles?
I have. It's not. Oh, it's so not the same.
Yeah, bro. There's no way you're putting cream corn next to jellied cranberries.
Yeah, you want to know where I'm putting them? I'm putting them next to each other, and they're both next to each other in the fucking garbage can. Oh yeah, cream corn.
I don't know how to come back from this because that wasn't even the one that was lower in my mind.
What in the whoa? What do you mean? Whoa!
Corn on the cob I could compromise with A tier and corn on the cob just because it's a lot of work and it gets stuck in your teeth. I don't love that. So
see, my thing with where corn on the cob is where it is. I could consider the A tier because I do like corn on the cob, but it has the same problem that asparagus has, right? Corn on the cob is a summer food. Corn on the cob is a you make that shit with the boys while you're grilling. You know, you got beer, pool, burger, corn on the cob.
You're way
watermelon.
true.
That's like the
traditions, bro.
trifecta right there, dude.
You
Corn
can
on the
eat
cob, watermelon slices, and burgers or hot dogs. That's like the summer trifecta right there. I don't know if corn on the cobbed version, if you will, is necessarily Thanksgiving etiquette.
I want to know.
I do fuck with regular corn, just off the cob, loose all up in that bitch. I'm fine with regular corn in that way. On the cob, doesn't seem like the right time for it, but I could concede A tier if you are willing to put up a good fight for it. Creamed corn can, in the least loving way possible, burn in hell. But it won't, because it's creamy and gross, and fire won't be able to touch it.
Who hurt you? That you need to have all of your foods in these tiny little boxes and they can't escape their boxes. Summer food, what? You can't have corn on the cob whenever the freak you want?
You can. I'm just... Brother. What?
Who hurt you?
I feel like
you can eat corn.
Diversify
You are an
your
adult.
palate.
You can eat
corn. Prior to this episode, I have been getting a lot of complaints in the comment sections from 2 episodes ago about how I'm so condescending all of the time. And I was like, damn, am I condescending?
You are.
I'm about to be.
You're continuing
all of the
to
comments
be.
are going to be correct. I'm about to be condescending. We gotta break out a little bit of palate diversity. You know, there's a reason these things work so well this time of year. I could concede cobbed corn in the A tier, but all you're doing is yelling at me instead of working to concede the cobbed corn.
I'm still upset that you have not moved creamed corn out of the D tier.
Oh, I'll move it if you like.
No. It needs to go up.
Okay.
It needs to go to the B tier. Regular corn is in the S tier, and corn on the cob is in the A tier. Put them all up one, and then put cream corn in the B tier.
How about this? How about we put regular corn in the A tier, and then we move on? I'm sorry.
Take it out of the D tier. It is not going to sit next to creme brulee. Remember you had the throw up sounds the whole time? No. Take it out of the D tier.
I so firmly disagree with this statement. I don't think it deserves to be out of the jack off the top rope with love me some cranberry jelly. God damn it. I'm surrounded by this. What is happening? I'll give it to you in the C tier.
No, we're not moving on until it's in the B tier. Listen, I had to take it. I had to take it with deviled eggs. I had to compromise my deviled eggs in the B tier.
I had to put that garbage food dish up in the B tier. I had to put sweet potato casseroles. I had to knock that down.
I thought
to the
you
B
were
tier.
cultured.
Oh,
I don't think you're very cultured.
I don't think that is true at all.
And we haven't even gotten to the biggest argument we're going to have. Just put it in the B tier and let's move on because you're not going to die on this hill. You're going to die on another hill.
You're right. Someone is. C tier is the best I'll do for you. If you can't do C, it's staying in the D tier. That's the best I'll do for you.
Then put it in the C tier.
Fucking cream corn in the S tier. What the fuck am I listening to right now? Put them both in the bin. Thank you, Swole. In the bin.
I think he's talking about you and cranberry sauce. Both in the bin. You and cranberry. So
put me in the dumpster with the jellied cranberry sauce. I'll eat my way out. I swear to God.
If you're presented with death and cranberry, jellied cranberry, what would you take?
How am I gonna die? Is it like instantaneous, like that Rick and Morty scene, or I just don't even feel anything?
I don't know, bro. It's hard.
I might have to think on it. I don't know. I might have to think on that one.
All right. What's the next one? Broccoli?
So these next 3 vegetables for me, also could be argued that they're not necessarily Thanksgiving vegetables.
Saying that. Stop it.
Michael's not going to make it through this episode.
Stop saying vegetables are just vegetables, bro. Whether they're on your plate or they make it to your aunt's house, there's a lot of people who eat these vegetables at Thanksgiving.
Well, then where's the Brussels sprouts, big dog? Where's the collard greens, dog?
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I think we've had a consensus that neither of us, and I don't want to have a third year in a row of you listening to you talk about your group home, going to the store, and the ladies trust your collard green story.
I'm saying you're talking shit about any vegetable could be on there. Where's the eggplant? Where's the eggplant parmesan?
I don't know.
Huh? Well, of course you don't know.
Okay, I concede that we went pretty basic with the vegetables, but just because they're basic.
This is honest to God the most white girl Thanksgiving Michael and I have probably ever put together. I'll be entirely honest. I think Michael added the tamales. I'm like, oh, it's a good touch. Then I'm like, we really got to add something else to make this just a little bit more unique, dog.
That's where the cream corn came in and the deviled eggs. Okay, broccoli, C tier. Broccoli is C tier.
I'll give you a B tier compromise because this is at least an A tier vegetable.
Okay. B tier is fine. What's next? Roasted carrots? Ugh. Soft, squishy carrots. I love it. No. No, that was sarcasm. Stop making kissy faces.
What you know about them? What you know about them little pennies?
They're in the D tier.
Doesn't seem like it. Seems like that's another B tier compromise. I'm gonna make
hold on. Hold the phone. Why are we suddenly compromising? Where did all this compromise come from? I wanted cream corn in the B tier. You said I'm gonna put it in the C tier. We're moving on.
King. You are the king of the B tier compromise. You are the king.
Where's my cream corn
B
tier compromise? If you want your roasted carrots in the B tier, then you better put cream corn up one.
Then I'll put them in the C tier. I don't care.
Up one.
But if that's
you're putting roasted
to go,
carrots, fine. Okay.
I think roasted carrots are. I think they're spectacular. They get nice and soft.
You say nice and soft in the same sentence, though. That's where we have an issue. Because carrots should not be soft.
What are you, a horse?
I am very much a rabbit.
Be soft. You
Baby
get a little bit of
with
sugar, a
ranch.
little bit of brown sugar in there, a little bit of salt, a little bit of I think it's like butter you put in there. You make little caramelized pennies. Oh, they're so good. Crinkle cut carrots. You trying to tell me that they are not good?
Jack says they should have a mild crunch, and I agree. Carrots should not be soft. What are you, a baby? You need your carrots cooked so you don't choke? That's baby food, bro.
Everything mashed is baby food.
No, mashed potatoes are very much a
mashed potatoes
adult.
are baby. You don't put salt in them for babies, but mashed potatoes are baby food.
They're not. Very different. Where are you? Okay, we already put them up there, so why are we still talking? What's the next one? Peas?
S tier.
Oh, we do this every year.
Peas?
We do this every year.
Peas
are F tier. Where did he go?
Where are
Is he gonna grab his? He's grabbing his frozen peas from. Oh goodness! Oxie gets the desk in his living room, and now he wants to grab his frozen peas mid episode.
Look at this.
F tier, bro.
Look at this. S tier. Look at this. S tier.
Honey glazed carrots.
F tier. F tier. S tier. Fucking incredible. The only F they get is for fucking incredible.
No.
Peas are a great vegetable.
The only F they get is for the tier that they're in.
The only F you get is the fuck you. Oh my god. Peas are spectacular.
They're not.
Peas are so simple and so delicious.
They could have been edamame, but they're just like not. They took them out of the show.
Peas are absolutely an S tier food. I've got some people who agree with me in the recording booth chat, and good to know. I'm not the only one.
Where were you guys with cream corn?
You want to know why they weren't there for cream corn?
Because peas, you mash them up, and they're baby food. Peas and carrots? Oh. So you say S tier, I say F tier. What about the C tier?
What about the B tier? Because I put him in the S plus category.
That didn't work last time, so you're not going to get it.
No, because deviled eggs ended up in that shitty B tier. It's the only way we make it out of this. It's the only way we make it out of this.
How come you get all the B tier compromises? You get
one shitty dish in the C tier, and you make it seem like I have steamrolled you the whole episode.
You really have.
I absolutely have not. I have opinions
there is
about
literally
how shitty cream corn is.
Corn is not in the S tier. I have been steamrolled.
This episode, honest to God, has been so good until cream corn showed its ugly face to our table.
Here's what I'll say.
We were doing great until cream corn came around.
Listen to me. Here's how it's going to happen. You're putting peas in the B tier, right? But we're putting corn, regular corn, in the bowl up in the S tier.
I don't know if I entirely agree with that.
Then where are you putting peas if I don't get corn in the S tier?
If you want to make this type of a trade deal, you better count your blessings, because look what's coming up right after peas. You better count your blessings. If you're trying to move corn to the S tier, peas to the B tier, you better be ready for them green beans to be way lower than you're going to want them to be, because you're going to want these ugly green turd dirt tasting pieces of shit up in the S tier. And I will not stand for it.
You're going to have to.
But it's crazy because it ain't happening with them green beans. We haven't gotten to the green bean casserole, but it ain't happening with them fucking green beans.
Then let's get
into
into it.
What.
Green bean casserole is in the S
tier.
tier.
This is what the people are here for.
This is what
people are here for.
I will not leave. I'm not going to talk about anything else in this episode until you put green bean casserole in the S tier.
So here's
I get one.
Right? So here,
uncompromising one. You don't get a say.
Are you sure that's the argument you want to make?
Listen,
if you want
your nasty little peas in the S tier as your one, you can have them. But that means I get green bean casserole in the S tier.
I truly, first of all, that's not a fair trade deal. That's not a fair trade deal at all.
What's the trade deal then? You want two things in the S tier?
No, it's not about the money, Spider-Man. Okay, it's about sending a message. I recently saw a video from the same Chef Zealand we talked about earlier, where he made a green bean casserole, but more importantly, he made homemade cream of mushroom soup.
Okay.
To go in the green bean casserole.
Okay.
And he also fried up some shallots to put on top of them. And I got to level with you. Were it not for them ugly fucking green beans, it looked like a pretty good dish.
Essence of the dish. If it wasn't for the essence of the dish,
ruined.
It would have been good.
It was absolutely ruined. It was
just
this cream of mushroom
soup.
It looked so good, and then it 100% was ruined by the green beans. So here is the deal that I'm willing to cut you. I put green bean casserole in the A tier. That's totally fine. You let me drag those green beans down to hell where they belong.
No. They're not going in the F tier. Regular green beans are not going in the
regular
F tier.
Green beans are, and I kid you not, the single worst food item on earth. They're terrible.
Very subjective to your taste buds.
Have I ever had a subjective opinion in my life?
I don't think so, but today's the day for it.
It's just me claiming I'm omnipotent on the show. People are going to use this. People are going to use this as evidence next time I try to promote human rights. They're going to get all pissed off in the comments and be like, "Well, you said you know everything, and you don't." I'm going to be like, "Dog, you're talking about a Thanksgiving tier list." Oh man,
green beans are not F tier. I'm dying on this hill.
I will put green bean casserole in the A tier. I'll put it in the A tier because honestly, the work that goes into a good green bean casserole, if you're making the cream of mushroom soup, oh, it looks so good. And I got to admit, the cream and mushroom soup with the fried shallots, it almost outdoes the taste of the green beans. Almost, but not quite. How far you want to let me drag the green beans down?
C tier. I want to say B tier, but I don't think you're going to do that.
S tier casserole, D tier green beans.
Deal. They're not F tier, but they're not.
Yeah, first of all, yes, they are. They're
Listen,
horrible.
You can't just go around saying things like that.
Why are you trying to silence my truth? Okay,
because your truth your truth is contrary to my truth.
Why are you
This is
trying to
the
shut
of,
down
like,
a man of
all
the
war, man? This is like how wars start.
Bro, I'm gonna go to war over these fucking green beans, dude. I swear to God, they're so bad. It's so annoying because I live in a climate that can grow green beans really well.
Yeah, you can.
It's just,
I remember
if they weren't shitty.
This will be my third time telling this story. I remember as a child, my Nana and Papa had a little garden. They grew beets, and they grew green beans. We would go and pick fresh green beans from their garden, wash them off, snap the little tops off, and eat them raw. And that is a core memory that I have growing up. I will buy raw green beans from the supermarket, from the store, the grocery store, snap off the tops and eat them raw. They are so good. I like cooked green beans, and I love green bean casserole. So I don't know where you get off saying that they taste like dirt, unless you've only had them literally hand freshly picked.
I feel like dirt
unwashed.
Is too generous at this point. I feel like I'm disrespecting dirt when I put them in the same category as green beans. You know what? Maybe I'll crack a fresh one off at some point just for laughs. I don't think it's still just I'm
not wearing my ring that calculates my stress level because I don't know where I put it.
Bro, you should have worn that for this. I think you'd be peaking.
I would be peaking right now. But I think
you'd absolutely be peaking.
The green bean casserole and the green beans have hit the tier list, and I think we're both walking away
green
unscathed.
Bean has hit the tier list. I think we're a little scathed. We knew the vegetables were going to be the worst part of this episode. I think we managed. We're a little scathed.
Can we get to the
but
mains
not
now?
As bad as it could be.
So I think we should, because I'm actually kind of hungry talking about all this. We should take a quick break, send off these folks to a little snacky snack break. Maybe you have to like refill your plate for Thanksgiving because you guys are watching this. With
you
got
to pull it up on the TV.
Everybody's watching
the Cowboys
it.
Are doing so bad that you had to pull us up on the TV instead.
Hi, family. Great. So everybody, go take a bathroom break. Go refill your plate with green bean casserole. Come back after this break, and we'll have the main course and dessert tier foods after this.
There's no promises it's going to be less violent, but I would think it gets a little bit more subdued. I think it's. Well, Michael and I are going to go each take a smoke break and cool off and
find my stress ring.
Yeah, just the second half of this episode.
We'll see after that.
All right.
Hi, my name's Dominic Onion. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about my newest endeavor, the Nightmare Zone. It's an opportunity for adventurers like yourself to come down and relive some of your favorite bosses, but in an unconventional way. We've got nothing but great reports from our adventurers who have done it. Here comes one right now. Hey, what's your favorite quest boss?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I held the space bar and clicked the boss. I couldn't even tell you. I've done like maybe 10 quests in my entire life.
Mine's Agrith Banana. He's so funny. He looks like a banana.
Okay.
Hey, you want to come relive some of those quest boss fights?
Not really. I'm just here to buy some blood.
Perfect. I'll give you a tour. Talk to me, and I'll set you up with a rumble. You can fight all the bosses at one time. Kill the bosses, you get points. You can buy things to make your next rumble easier. You can also buy herb boxes and scrolls from my personal collection of paper. Give me enough points, and I'll use some of my onion magic, and I'll imbue some of your items for you.
You'll just like do this for free?
Of course not, adventurer. Man's gotta eat. It'll cost you a couple thousand GP per rumble. I don't think it's much to ask. So what do you think? Should I get you set up with a rumble?
Yeah, no. I think I'm just gonna go buy.
Perfect. Come talk to me. You can choose what bosses you want to fight. See what I mean? Flawless reviews from adventurers. The people you know won't let me inside, so I set up shop right outside the front gate. Come pay me a visit. Hey!
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that commercial break because I know that I sure did. We're going to take a second before we get back into the wonderful conversation we've been having together to stop and thank our patrons. Today's Thanksgiving, and it's always good to be reminded of what we're thankful for. And today specifically, I am so thankful. Literally, I'm not being sarcastic or trying to be funny. I am thankful for every single person who supports us on Patreon. You guys are absolutely amazing. I know that we only shout out specific tiers of people normally, but literally any tier that you subscribe in means the world to me and Oxie together. And just the fact that you want to support us financially, again, means the world. So thank you so much for supporting us. We have a brand new Wise Old Man patron this week, and that is Yuke. Thank you, Yuke. Welcome to the Wise Old Man patrons tier. He was with us for a little bit in the recording booth, but Yuke was on my bingo team this year. So shout out to the Mahogany bench warmers, because last week we had one GP Richer who is also on my team. So
look at you promoting mid bingo. Love it.
And on the screen now is all of our current Wise Old Man patrons. You guys are amazing. I know I just said it, but I want to love on you guys a little bit. Thank you. If you are in the Wise Old Man tier, thank you so much. You guys and gals, you hang out with us in the recording booth. You make our experience of doing this podcast so much better. I'm so glad that we have this tier for everyone to be here in every tier above it. But starting out specifically here, it means the world that you guys would want to hang out with us and help us do this podcast every single week. So shout out to all of our current Wise Old Man patrons. Thank you so much for your support of the show. It means so much to us. Moving on over to our KBD tier. We are going to read off all the names as we do every single week. Starting from the top here, we have Boston Sport 5, Brian M, Brooks 70, Oxie's dad. Hey, Dad. Happy Thanksgiving. Cloud
Happy
Kicker,
Thanksgiving, Dad.
Dicky Bird, Elite Oreo Dunker, Jax Leagues Baby, GIM, Lil Drakey, third favorite Patreon supporter Ralph, Run Metal 15, Rylithian, Sparky Life, The Big G Jordy, and Warbatronic. These folks are in the KBD tier, and they are wonderful. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your continued support in the KBD tier. Somebody mentioned it. I think it might have been Swole. He mentioned it a few weeks ago. He's like, can KBD get merch? And I don't know. I haven't talked to Oxie about it, but I feel like we could look into it. There are cheaper merch options like stickers and things like that potentially you guys could start getting merch as well. So if you're in the KBD tier, thank you for your continued support for the show. It means the world. Muchos to each and every one of you. Now, for the big bad tier, the big Jad tier, I should say, shouting out all of our Tiz Talk Jad tier patrons. From the top, make it drop. We got Basic Pickle, oh no, Chaos Cleric, Canned Cranberry Sauce Cleric. That's a name for sure. Captain Crash, our newest Jad tier patron of this week. We got Legend Gary, Just Wanna Go Mahome, Michael's Not So Secret Lover, still secret enough that he doesn't know who I am, and I'm on to you, Secret Lover. You should have changed your profile picture. That's all I'm saying, because I know who you are. Oxy's Personal Demonic Toy 666, Mr. Rack Roll, And finally, Soggy Waffles. That is the Jad tier, the big bad Jads. We have some merch that is currently in production, a design, I should say. We aren't making the merch, but there is a design currently in production for this. I've got a realistically a couple of months before that would need to be submitted for the shirts to be developed. So it's gonna go into more refinement. But Oxie, should we preview the Jad merch to the Jad tier patrons before we send it, or should we make it a surprise? Because I'm down to like show them and have their feedback on it. But I'm also down if we just wanted to make it like they get it in the mail and it shows up and they see it for the first time.
Surprise could be fun. I think because the design isn't finished, you know? If we want to show them, we show them later once the design is done.
Yeah, for sure.
But
still to come. Potentially seeing the design later. We don't know. But that is the Jad tier. Muchos to each and every one of you. You going above and beyond what we ever thought would be possible with support of the show. And we thank you so much for that. You're making it possible for me to get paid as an editor. And I think that's, I can't thank you guys enough for that. So thank you so much. That's going to have to do, unfortunately, just a basic thank you, because I can't thank you enough for all the support you guys are giving us for the show. If you want to join anybody in any tier that we have available, you can do so by heading on over to patreon.com/Xpwaste. We have tiers ranging from $1 all the way to $50. And there are various tiers that give you different benefits, so definitely check that out. One I want to highlight now is the Party Pete tier. If you heard us talk a little while ago, we talked about the monthly Patreon stream. $5 a month gets you an extra video, technically, if you don't watch it live. Or you can come and hang out with us on our Patreon-only stream once a month. We do it on the third Friday of every single month, and that video is available to you to watch after the fact. And if you subscribe at the Party Pete tier, you have our entire backlog, which is many, many hours. I don't want to say like hundreds of hours at this point, but like we used to do an extra episode every month, and those would range from like an hour to a few hours. So you have access to the entire backlog of extra episodes. Say you're caught up on Xpwaste and you want more Xpwaste, $5 a month gets you that entire catalog. So that's our Patreon. Thank you so much to everyone. We're going to get back to some Thanksgiving talk, but we do want to mention a little promotion we're doing with the Patreon. Now we're nearing the end of the month. You have a couple more days. If you haven't already heard, if you subscribe to the Patreon at any tier within the month of November, that's all the way until the 30th or the 31st. I can't remember. I think it's 30 days in November. If you subscribe at any tier of the Patreon within the month of November, whether you're new or reoccurring, it doesn't matter. We're going to send you a Christmas card in the mail. All you have to do is go into Patreon and add your address wherever they ask for your address. I'm not sure. But if you add your address on Patreon, we're going to be able to send you a card just to say thanks. So if you've been considering joining the Patreon, do it now before the end of the month so you can get a little card in the mail from us.
I was going to say, sign up for $1 and get free stuff because the Christmas card is going to be pretty cool. Think about it.
It's going to be good. We have Seth is actually helping us design the card this year. And what he's got cooked up, I think, is going to be fantastic. It's going to be fridge worthy for this holiday season. Speaking of postcards, though, we have two that we're not going to do the fun question because this is going to take some deciphering. But I just wanted to say thank you to Swole for sending us not one, but two postcards. One specifically for me and one for Oxie. Oxie, it says the only thing I'm freaking is stupid.
That, honest to God, that's like a Tinder profile worthy picture right there. Swole, that is spectacular. I've never seen a better postcard in my life.
This is so good. And he gives the episode number and the quote. I love it.
That is immaculate. I love that. Holy shit.
And then this one is mine. And it says, man, fuck Greg Abbott. Because seriously, fuck Greg Abbott. Michael, episode 138. So that
is that you from your Iron Man from
yes,
series?
it is.
Oh my god, bro, that's a deep cut, dog.
Oh. So I'll read it. Both of them say the same thing, but it says, "Oi, oi, g'day, legends! I'm almost finished with my third playthrough of the entire podcast, hearing all the good,
damn.
fun questions from Dinosaur, Otis, and guests. I want to know." And he gives us coordinates.
You son of a bitch. No, they're combat levels. They're NPC combat levels. We've got it's the combat level solution.
Oh.
God, Swole, you're a monster. You're a monster.
Take a screenshot of that real quick, and
we'll
me
decipher those. Don't you worry, because that's good. That's absolutely good. He said the numbers, Mason.
What do they mean?
Oh man.
So that's our postcards. Thank you so much, Swole. I'm going to try and get this one to Oxie so that he can add to his little collection there, and then I'll put this one up on the wall. But
is it printed upside down? Is the image itself upside down?
It is.
That's fantastic.
I don't know if that was meant to be like that, but yours
is
100
because he's Australian, so it makes sense.
Yours isn't though. Just mine.
He's Australian. That's how we'll justify it.
I feel like it's so you can like flip it like this and read it instead of going like this to read it. Who knows?
You're thinking too deep into it.
What do the numbers mean, Mason? That's what I'm thinking about. But thank you, Swole. Appreciate you. And when you hear this again for the 4th time or the 2nd time or whatever it is, thank you again, Swole. Always a pleasure. Where are we at? We're
back into the ring, baby.
We're in the main courses now, aren't we?
All right, we are into the main courses here. Now, we're kicking it back off with a rather interesting one that I've never seen at Thanksgiving because I'm as white as snow. But tamales.
Oh gosh, dude. This tamales, first of all, S tier. They are the highlight. I tell you, if there is a higher light, I don't think there is. They are the highlight of me getting to go to my wife's family's Christmas. The highlight.
Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Sorry, both. But Thanksgiving specifically. Abuela makes tamales, homemade, and she loads me up a plate of them. Like a paper plate, a dozen tamales, tinfoil over the top. I love them. I've made tamales from scratch before myself, and they're not easy. So I know she puts a lot of love into making those tamales. They're very appreciated, and they are S tier all the way.
I think the only time in recent memory where I've had tamales was at we were eating dinner before a fencing practice. And are you at Huaycodal right now?
I just opened the combat tier menu. Combat's menu.
I was gonna say Michael's doing Huaycodal during the podcast. That's crazy. No, so we did an escape room for one of our teammates who was applying for a job there. And then afterwards we're going to fencing practice. We were all hungrier than hell. So he said, you know what? We'll go to this Mexican place next door. And it's like kind of janky in there, so you know it's gonna be absolutely fire. And we walked in, and it's like a lot of the people I was with were like 19-year-olds. They don't have any money. And it was like, what's like the best way to like flex our money here and like make it actually worthwhile? So I just went up to the counter. I'm like, how about like a dozen tamales? And they're like, we'll make that happen. I said, all right, hell yeah, brother. And let me tell you, a dozen tamales before fencing practice, not the best idea we've ever had. But damn, were they good in the moment. Oh. They weren't good when we were doing our footwork conditioning. And everyone was pissed off at me because we were all eating together. And then I'm the one that runs the footwork conditioning. And they're like, oh, this is not about to feel good. And I think I made some sort of smart ass comment, like, shouldn't have ordered the tamales then, dumbass. And they're like, Oxie, you're the one that ordered them for us. I'm like, you right. Gotta learn to tough it out.
Not wrong.
I could put these in the S tier. What goes in them?
I don't know. I think it's just meat in like I can't even help me out, folks. It's
I was gonna say, Fear, what goes in a tamale?
It's like
what the hell?
Like it's like pork meat, some spices, in a casing with like a I want to say matcha, but it's not matcha. Yeah. You put me on the spot, and I'm really fumbling right now. I have no idea. Love Sweat and tears, Chaos Cleric says, and I think that's absolutely correct. What are you doing fire making right now? Stop that. Get some help. I see you over there. Mr. Oxie Fans has reached level 91 fire making.
Yippee!
And got the Pyromancer boots. S tier, pop them up there. Let's go. We got some main courses.
We can do that. That's fine. We can do that. We can put the tamales up there in the S tier. The ham. I feel like this one's always a bit of a sore subject for you and I. Because I do love me a good ham. I'll tell you what.
Ham.
I do love me a good ham. I know Chaos Cleric knows all about that Dearborn ham, baby. Dearborn ham is S tier. You goddamn right it is, baby. Oh,
masa.
Baby.
It's masa, not matcha. Masa is what it's made of. Sorry, I was Swole sent the Swole sent a recipe for tamales. It's masa. That's the word I was thinking of. It's like the outside. It's like the dough. But ham, are you going to put it in the S tiers for like the one brand that you like, or is it ham as a whole that you like?
I mean, okay. Dearborn ham is a spectacular brand, but I think it's like ham as a whole is delicious. You know, ham as a whole, you can't sleep on ham. You know, it's too good to be slept on.
I could sleep on ham.
I don't know about all that.
In terms of protein for Thanksgiving, I could sleep on ham, but I think I've just had like really boring ham. Because I've never had a smoked.
You ain't had that motherfucking Dearborn ham. That's why.
Probably not. I mean,
I'll bring it up to Michigan. One year I'll bring it up to Michigan. I'll get you some Dearborn ham.
Bro, I was literally just thinking earlier in the episode that I want to fly my family out for your family's Thanksgiving one year. Just because you talk about it so much. I'm like, I want to have that. I want to see Aunt Becky.
Oh, you'd love them. I listen. Ham is an S tier food for me. I don't know how else you slice it. Ham is an S tier food.
Let's do S tier then. Because is there any of these proteins that you're not going to put in the S tier? Maybe one of them.
I think so.
Then put the ham in the A tier then.
Okay, that's fine. Concede A tier for ham. So this is not the turkey itself. This is the battle of how it's prepared. This is the war between the fried turkey and the regular roasted turkey.
Yeah, crispy skin or slimy skin.
I gotta level with you. Fried turkey, while exponentially more dangerous. You don't need to fry turkey. Bake it in the oven. It's so unsafe if you do it wrong. Fried turkey is so good. Fried turkey is so good.
I think I've had fried turkey like once, unfortunately, in my life. I say unfortunately because it is good. It's never been on my in the spread of things that we have because I just don't think that people want to take the time to fry it. But when I did have it, I think it may have been superior to just like popping it in the oven. Because what is it like? The oil seeps in, makes it more, makes it more juicy, and then it locks it in because it crisps up the skin. Versus if you bake it, you have like, I don't know, like a 50-50 chance of it going bad and just being dry.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like turkey's obviously fantastic, right? It's hard to argue that. On the same token, I feel like because it's almost like a mythical creature, fried turkey is S tier, regular turkey A tier.
Sure. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe the fresh cranberry sauce could bring the regular turkey up. You know what I'm saying? Now here's where we kind of wanted to make it weird this year and just add some new stuff to the rotation. We got some barbecue items this time.
You do.
Mainly because I think it was Submediant brought it up in the chat. So Submediant mentioned on the Xpwaste podcast, barbecue items we thought might be fun to mix it up. And I don't know whether or not any of these are at your guys' Thanksgivings, but
they could be
kicking us off. They could be. Rotisserie chicken.
So I put this on here before, actually. Yes, it does work in the context of barbecue, but I put rotisserie chicken on here because my wife doesn't like pink meat. She doesn't like ham or turkey. And so when it comes to
Turkey's white meat.
proteins, she didn't like turkey. She didn't like ham or turkey, I should say. I don't want to classify it as pink meat. But I mean, it does
I
have
was
a
like, if your
pinker
turkey's
hue.
pink, you're doing
Doesn't it have
something
more
wrong,
of a
brother.
pink hue in some? Like I eat a turkey leg
I mean,
and it's pink.
Well, because the dark that's the dark meat, but like the white meat isn't pink.
Oh, okay. Well, the point still stands that she doesn't really like ham or turkey. So at my Thanksgiving, my mom always has a little grocery store rotisserie chicken for her. So it's always at my Thanksgiving when we're not doing a breakfast Thanksgiving. Ugh. So rotisserie chicken was on there, but you're right. Rotisserie chicken, brisket, ribs, those could be all kind of grouped together as a fun extra barbecue style Thanksgiving meal. But rotisserie chicken probably is the weaker option of the three for me. I like chicken.
I would agree.
But is it B tier or A tier?
I think it could be B tier. I gotta love with you. It could be because like that looking right there. Now that is a chicken. I would do unspeakable things to that chicken. That looks delicious. That chicken looks delicious. I would do unspeakable things to all of these items that are left, right? The chicken looks absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
It's tough, because like you talk about like a good barbecue rotisserie chicken versus like a store-bought in the plastic bag, eating the whole thing by yourself at 28 years old at your kitchen table like a feral animal like that.
Well, it's just
It's
It's just good eating, man. Like $6 for a chicken, you can't go wrong.
They feel like they're in different tiers, Get it at a barbecue place, get it at a whatever. It just feels different.
My thing about rotisserie chicken and just like birds in general, it's a lot of work for almost not as much payoff as you'd like. Like you buy a whole rotisserie chicken and you just got to sit there and work for it, Like you got your legs and your thighs or whatever, but getting all the meat off of the rest of it without having a stray bone to get caught in your throat, that's tough. And I don't want to put all that work into it. That's why I go to like KFC or whatever and just get chicken that's been pre-cut, I guess is what you could say.
Next time you come to Michigan, I'm going to teach you how to spatchcock a chicken. And we're going to get one of them rotisserie chickens. You'll break down the anatomy of it and you'll learn how to eat that bitch. Like you'll be,
I've been on this earth. I've been on this earth for 32 years. Never, not once, until today, have I heard the word spatchcock.
So you cut the backbone out.
Spatchcock.
Cut the backbone out, break the rib cage like that, and then you just let it sit flat. And then, so what I used to do when I worked at Whole Foods, right? Way back in the day, I worked in the meat department of Whole Foods when I went to Michigan State. And Michigan State, very, very culturally diverse. There's a lot of different communities that come for the university and for the state capital. So what I would see a lot, Indian families would come in and they would want a whole chicken for curry, but it had to be cooked in a very specific way or cut in a very specific way where they'd take a whole chicken from our little display. They'd hand it to us. We'd open it up. We'd spatchcock it, leave the bone because that just went in the curry. And then you take a big old knife and you just kind of like cut up the pieces. So you get the breast, the thighs, the legs, the wings, all that. And then you just hammer down on it and cut it up into small little squares. So you take this whole chicken, bone in.
Oh, wait.
All the pieces.
You're telling me if I get a rotisserie chicken, I can just have the deli carve it up for me?
Yeah. Most of the time.
What?
That's what I like. When I worked at Whole Foods, we wouldn't say no to like anything. Like if we didn't have the item, we would say no. But if somebody was like, hey, I want to buy this whole tri-tip. Can you slice it up for me? Yeah.
Wow.
Like I want to buy this steak. Can you grind it up for me? Yeah. Like
that's cool.
Like we would do it.
I'd try that.
Let's see this. This is the beauty of food, you guys. This is the beauty of food. Times could be a change in here. So I encourage you to get to know your butchers. Get to know your fishmongers. Get to know your produce dealers, right? Like, and you're thinking like, oh, I only have like a Meijer or something nearby. Like, it's not going to be helpful. No, those are like real like tradesmen in there. Right? Like sometimes they'll hire college students, right? But I got to tell you, you get a college student who works there for long enough, they're going to learn a lot. And the guys that are there who are doing a bulk of the cutting, they are butchers. They are not randos off the street. They allowed to use this table saw. They are people who have been doing this for possibly decades. God, we had this guy at Whole Foods. His name was Adam. He was the sausage guy. The man could turn anything into sausage as long as it had casings. Guy. And it was well, I couldn't make them was the thing. Don't get me wrong. I love a little bit of salsiccia. That's what we forgot to put on here. What is salsiccia? That'd be S tier for sure. But God, he'd make them so good. Whenever like we get weird like breakfast sausage flavors too. Like he would just like make shit up sometimes. Ooh. Oh, it was so good. When I was eating good at Whole Foods. I learned a lot about meat and how that whole process works. But yeah, I don't know how we got on this subject. Get to know your butcher this Thanksgiving. Talk to them. They'll do whatever you want.
Brisket.
Brisket, dog.
Brisket though. Can we have an S+ tier real quick?
I was gonna say I really don't know where else we put this item. I gotta level with you. I really don't know how you justify any other tier than the top tier for brisket. Brisket. It sticks out in my head so vividly. We're in Nashville. We're on. I think I've told the story on the podcast before. We're on Broadway. We go to this barbecue place late at night. My mom gets brisket because it seems like the safest choice, and it's like a big, like a burnt corner of the brisket. Yes. It's all charred up. Yes. And she's like, she eats her fill, and she's like, I don't really want this. I'm like, you're not going to eat that? You're going to throw that away? Now, my sister's on the Shoots and Twigs diet. My mom just doesn't eat as much as she used to, right? So Mom with a lower appetite and Shoots and Twigs' sister, this was not going anywhere. So I inhale on my barbecue and I say, if you're not eating that, I'll gladly take it. And my mom goes, isn't it burnt and gross? And I said, that's kind of the point. And I just fucking got into that bitch. Oh, it was so salty and so beautifully seasoned and so juicy and delicious. And shit. My mom and sister are like, ew. I'm like, dude, you don't understand. This is like peak brisket consumption right here. This is the way God intended brisket to be eaten. Bare hands, falling apart. God, it was so good. I would kill a man for good barbecue brisket these days. We had a barbecue place in my hometown that shut down after COVID. It was heartbreaking. But it's since turned into a shawarma place, which, you ever ordered shawarma for a group of people?
No.
Like, from what I found, at least with the shawarma place in town, I think it might be a Lebanese place. A meal for 4 people. They're 4 big, extraordinarily hungry people. Mm-hmm. It's absurd. We had so much food when we ordered shawarma for my sister's birthday. So, if you ever got to feed a lot of people, shawarma, think about it. God, we could put shawarma on this list too. Damn, I could talk about food all day long. I love talking about food.
I feel like we should just have like a general food tier list.
You know what? I don't think it should be a tier list. I think we should take some time. A bracket system could be fun, but I think we should take some time and like go on like a food exploration. Like I could take you to the farmer's market by my work. Yes, the same farmer's market for all you shitters listening.
My brain went instantly.
And we just take you around, man. We got all the different flavors. Oh my god!
Maybe I could check out that booth and kind of get the lowdown on her relationship status for you. Without it being weird.
But it's not important. We don't need any of that.
What if she's single?
Who gives a shit? The shot's
You're
been
also
shooted.
Single. No, if she's single now, it's the second come around. You got the boomerang thrown around.
That ain't how that works, big dog.
Why?
I don't.
I'd call that
a
fate.
No from me, brother.
That's literally fate.
I don't think that's how fate works.
You're just gonna look fate in the eyes and say, "Nah, dog, that's not how that works." Okay.
You know what? I might do that, but that's beside. We're not here for that, Michael.
We're all here for that.
For a culinary exploration.
Updates? We want farmers market girl updates.
There are no updates. This is the start
'Cause
and
you
the
won't let
end
it
of the
happen.
updates. You're damn right I won't. It is.
Anyway,
I
you
don't
were
know.
saying culinary
We gotta have like a mukbang episode where you and I just eat a bunch of different food.
Well, it'd have to
you
be
know?
over the course of like a couple days because I want to go ham, not just once. You know, I want to go ham a lot.
Then we get a bunch of different kinds of food, dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mima, what
it's
is
like
this?
a weekend. It looks like a
Mommy?
cake.
Mommy? Mammy?
I don't know.
He posted a
Barbecue
gif
ribs.
of what looks like chocolate pudding cake. Now I'm very intrigued. Anyway, barbecue ribs, not as high on the list as you'd think for me. These are probably, do I put them in the B tier? Probably B tier. Ribs are a lot of work for not a lot of payoff. It's the payoff. You know what I mean? Like you sit
I
there,
will say,
your
I
hands
will
are
say,
sticky. You got like meat stuck in your teeth. Sometimes the membrane comes off with the rib, unless it's like fall off the bone, juicy, good. It's I don't know. I've not had ribs like that my whole life. I just get like general ribs, and usually the other thing is they're way too expensive. There is a barbecue place in the Stockyards in Fort Worth that they have like an unlimited ribs option. They'll just keep piling ribs on your plate for you. I probably ate like 6 or 7. They're giant cow ribs. And that was good.
Bet.
That was good.
Well, hold on. If they're beef ribs, that's different.
Okay. What do you like? Are you talking pork ribs or
those
not
are
good?
those are like short ribs. That's a totally different meal. That's a
Then what are we
totally different
ranking
meal
here.
Well, I mean, they're usually pork ribs.
Oh,
That's how
okay.
barbecue. That's what barbecue ribs are. That's why they're so small. It's why they don't look disproportionate to a cow because they're not from a cow, right?
Right.
Like baby back ribs come from
Baby
pigs
back,
usually.
baby back.
I knew he was going to do it. Jesus Christ.
How could I not?
I don't know, man. I will agree that sometimes the payout of ribs doesn't seem, and it's hard to explain, right? Like if the rib itself is too thin, it almost doesn't seem worth it. Like if the bone is almost the same thickness as the meat, right? If it's like 80% bone, sometimes it's not worth it. But very rarely do I look at ribs and go, no. If they weren't, you're right. They are pretty expensive here in the US. But I think sometimes it's worth it. You get them good, you get them right. Oh man. I think ribs are an A-tier food. They don't hold a candle to brisket. Given a choice. Frankly, and this is going to be, I think, where Oxie pisses people off. They don't even hold a candle to pulled pork. But I think they're definitely an A-tier food for sure.
A-tier. Yeah. Okay. I wish I put pulled pork on here, but I could only think of two.
We were strapped for time, you know? Well, Michael, dinner's over. We've eaten our dinner. And I've just gotten up and I've walked to the kitchen. And I said, I'm making a coffee. Anybody else want a coffee? That's almost exactly how I say it every single year.
Do you have coffee, though, at 7 p.m.? I don't. I'm going to have coffee this year for Thanksgiving. But I've never had coffee on Thanksgiving. I'm going to let you know that right now. Maybe like sweet tea. If we're talking like caffeinated beverages. But like never, not once have I had coffee.
You're missing out, brother.
I love
gotta
coffee,
tell
so
you.
like, there's no way
Coffee-
I'm not gonna rank it in the S tier. But just like as a Thanksgiving food, never happened.
So, all right, coffee to keep on with the argument that I had earlier, just to stay consistent. Coffee's not a Thanksgiving specific dish, right? I'll bite myself in the ass on that one. It is not a Thanksgiving dish, no. But after a big meal, right? After a big meal, there's something real good about that, like, stomach soother. There's a term for it in Italian. I forgot what it's called, but basically, after you eat a big meal,
That's why espresso is famous in Italy.
well, you either have some espresso or you have some grappa. You get a nice shot of liquor in there as
Ooh.
a stomach soother.
Some Irish cream.
We ain't putting no grappa on this list. I'll tell you that. Grappa already had me asleep. I'm thinking about grappa and I'm getting sleepy. But like we've kind of like, at least my family, we've Americanized it into like just like fire up the Keurig after dinner.
I'm gonna have to try that, to be honest with you, bro. Because like I am dog tired after eating a Thanksgiving meal, and coffee might just be what I need. So
It
you're
doesn't
maybe
even
onto
feel like
something.
it doesn't even feel like it's to wake me up, right? Like I
Oh.
don't drink coffee because I'm like, oh, I gotta get wired for round 2. It's just like something about a full stomach followed shortly thereafter by a nice cup of hot coffee with some cream and sugar. You know, not too much cream, but just sitting around chatting afterwards, maybe picking away at some rolls or
Almost
something
some
like that.
ice
Because as you
cubes in it.
said, that's okay. Well, you've had enough shitty opinions this episode. We can keep that one out of it. I don't know, man. Coffee, spectacular. And coffee also pairs well with all the desserts. Find me a dessert that doesn't pair well with coffee on this list. I don't think you can.
None of them.
Because coffee is spectacular. Mima says coffee is a triple S tier.
Oh,
I would agree with that. I would
Yo.
agree with a triple S tier.
shout out to Dakota, because every time he goes to get coffee, the man tags Oxie and I, puts ice in his coffee, and it's great. Shout out to Dakota.
This close.
Shout out to
This
Dakota.
close.
To what?
This fucking close. Ban hammer.
I will ban
Just
you. if you ban him.
indiscriminately.
You're gone with him.
That's fine. I'll drag him and his ice cube coffee straight to hell. I don't care. Get out of here. Get out of here. Fire up the Keurig. Make a nice carafe pot.
So where are you
See
putting
how
it,
it goes.
though? A tier?
Brother, you know where I want to put it.
S tier?
I want to put that bitch right up in the S tier.
Honestly, Oxie?
I'm interested if you had any qualms against it.
No. But at this point, everything that's in the S tier could be and will be on my plate this holiday season.
I mean, yeah, I other than white gravy, I agree. And well,
Gravy
green bean casserole.
You gonna
That's
have some
not
green bean casserole?
that bitch ain't being on. That bitch ain't going on there. I tell you that. We ain't putting no fucking green bean casserole on my plate.
Not to rehash things, but realistically, and this is, I want you to give this some pure thought, right? How much money would it take for you to eat an entire plate of green bean casserole? What's your lowest amount?
This seems like one of those if you have to ask, you can't afford it
No, what's your lowest amount?
situation. If you're gonna offer me $100 to eat a shitty thing of green bean casserole, like that seems so free.
Yeah.
Right?
But would you do it for 20?
No.
50?
I would consider it. Why are you
60?
asking?
I don't know, because I have money to burn. I want to see what
No, you
where
don't.
this
We have the money to burn. It's our show's money to burn. What do you
Listen,
mean?
I got a lot of birthday money here, so it could be fun to, send you the old Venmo and have you record yourself eating a plate of casserole.
I'm not doing all that. I am not doing all that.
We
tell
need
you what,
OnlyFans content, Oxie.
I don't think that's the kind of OnlyFans content that people want. And I'm going to leave it at that. All right. Cool Whip and whipped cream.
So we have to do
For
that
some reason.
after the pie tier, don't we?
What do you mean after the pie? What do you
Or
what
are we
else
like
do you,
gearing
Are
up
you
to
eating
put it on our pie?
spoonfuls of Cool Whip?
No. But this is like the common debate of like, which do you think is better for your pie?
We don't really do Cool Whip like ever.
So you're a whipped cream guy?
Yeah.
I'm a Cool Whip man. Cool Whip. I'm a Cool Whip man.
I don't have any gripes against Cool. Unlike all your other whack ass opinions, I don't have any gripes against Cool Whip. I just give me the Ready Whip, let me funnel a little bit into my mouth for laughs, and then I'll put it on
Cool
whatever
Whip?
pie,
Cool Whip just has like a more dense presence on the pie. And I think if you have Cool Whip, you put it in the fridge or the freezer for a little bit, it gets more dense and it's more substantial on top of your pie. If you have like, I don't know, the whipped cream, that's like milkshake stuff, like for me, I don't think I would put whipped cream on my apple pie. Cause like generally whipped cream at room temperature just like melts. It doesn't usually stay.
If we're talking apple pie, though, you don't beat vanilla ice cream.
No, you don't. But like on a pumpkin pie generally has Cool Whip or whipped cream on it, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we could put both of these in the A tier or the B tier. I don't know if either one of them in particular are the S tier because neither one of them are the highlight of the dessert.
sure, both in the A
They're
tier.
They're supporting actors, right?
Sure.
Like,
If I was going to rank it, and you said you liked whipped cream better, so I'm not going to argue, but whipped cream would probably go in the C tier for me, whereas Cool Whip is in the A tier,
damn.
just because of how it's more dense. But A tier is
Banana
fine.
pudding.
S
Banana
tier.
pudding. Where are we putting banana pudding?
S
Oh yeah,
tier. Oh yeah.
I'll go with that. Banana pudding in the S tier. That works. My grandma used to make this icebox cake. I don't know how the hell she made it, but good God, this icebox cake was fire.
What's
It
an
wasn't as good as her
icebox
cheesecake.
Sounds like Great Depression food.
I think it was. If
Oh,
I'm being
okay.
entirely honest, I think it was Great Depression food. I think a lot of particularly the recipes on my dad's side, I think a lot of my grandma's recipes that are old are like, what's the most creative thing we could make with no money? I think that was how, because like the cheesecake recipe that I have is like super simple. Like there's nothing wild and crazy. Like I've mixed it up and I've added Oreos instead of graham crackers as like the crust.
Ooh.
But it's not bland and boring, but it is very run of the mill basic cheesecake, you know?
Yeah.
So
Like you got to get sawdust shavings for your bread.
kind of, yeah. The icebox cake was great. I'd love to have it again. Maybe I'll find the recipe this Thanksgiving. See if I can whip that bitch up. I don't know though. Oh boy. This is where it's going to get ugly again.
Before we get ugly, I just want to say during the break, talked to my wife and found out I'm actually going to be getting a regular Thanksgiving. We're going to my wife's aunt's house today on Thanksgiving Day, later in the day. So
okay.
We're getting Thanksgiving breakfast and then we're going to get a proper Thanksgiving meal later in the day. So I'm very excited now.
W's across the board. You can't beat that. You really can't. It's your opportunity to try cranberry sauce.
It will be
Perfect.
because they probably will have it and I will eat every single deviled egg they have on the plate.
That is,
and I'm going to record it for you and send you to it on Snapchat.
That seems like a hate crime. I don't think you should do that. I don't
Unsolicited.
Want that is,
right now, it's going to happen. You can choose to open it or not. Okay, yes. It's going to be
here.
round
This is
2.
where it's going to get ugly. This is where it's not going to get as ugly as the green beans, but it's not going to be good. I'll tell you that straight
I don't
up.
know.
We know this. It's not going to be good.
I do not know for the life of me. And I will probably die of old age not knowing what you have against apple pie. I cannot fathom any good reasons that you would have to not like apple pie.
I had an apple for breakfast this morning and I loved it.
Okay.
I like pie crust. The texture of the apples, once they are cooked, is sinful, dreadful, even.
Okay.
The texture of these apple pies.
But different doesn't mean bad.
Look, I can eat an apple pie. It's never my first choice. Of these 4 pies, I'll take a slice of pecan, pumpkin, and peach, and then leave the apple behind. Like I don't
even warm with ice cream though.
I mean, if it's my only choice, warm with ice cream, sure, but like
vanilla bean ice cream, bro.
Michael, you're trying to stack it up against the superior pie in this list, and it's just not going to work.
I'm not trying to stack it up against anything. I'm trying to understand the mind of a psychopath.
This is coming from a man who demanded cream corn to be in the S tier.
Very regular
says
behavior.
Apple pie tastes like wet, soggy biscuits. And you know what? I don't think he's entirely wrong.
And what is wrong with wet, soggy biscuits? Nothing. When you have ice cream on top of it.
I want you to run a biscuit underwater this thing.
I think he means cookies, but you got it.
Add a little bit.
You're cooking.
Okay, fine. Run a chocolate chip cookie underwater for a couple of minutes. Take a big old hop and bite, and then let me know what you think of it.
I don't know, because if it was in a pie crust, I might like it.
I don't know, man. Apple pie, it's to me, it's the worst of these four. You know, it is absolutely the worst of these four.
Okay, worst of the four. Where are they at? What was it going? Where's it going?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. For pumpkin pie, that is S tier for sure.
Getting ahead of
Apple
ourselves.
pie, like, all right, fine. You want me to do them in order?
No, just apple pie.
Apple pie to me is a C tier. Like, I'm willing to put it in the B tier because, like, people work really hard on those apple pies, which, like, yeah, you work hard on everything you make. Like, I don't think it justifies it jumping up a whole nother tier, but, like, sure, I'll give it to you. And if it's the only pie around, I'll eat it. But this isn't an S tier.
B tier compromise.
I'll tell you that. It's fine.
Pecan
pie.
I like pecan pie. I don't know if it would be in the same vein of you saying not my first choice. It wouldn't be my first choice or my second choice, I don't think.
So this is probably my third choice, if I'm being entirely honest.
Yeah. So it could go next to apple pie in the B tier, I think.
I could be okay with that.
Because you could also put ice cream on pecan pie. It's one of the very few pies that I think, actually maybe all of them could have ice cream, but pecan pie specifically.
I mean, yeah, they all
the
could
nutty,
for sure.
The nutty taste with the ice cream. Milk those nuts.
That's
what?
Huh?
In the context of what we're talking about, it makes sense. Okay.
That's our cold opener right there. Just Michael saying, "Milk those nuts." Do. Perfect.
Pecan pie with ice cream, B tier. Pumpkin pie. This is where the Cool Whip and the whipped cream come in. I don't know if this is your favorite, but I'm thinking this is your S tier because I don't know if you've ever expressed your love for peach cobbler, but pumpkin has to be in the S tier.
It is superior. It's the best pie. I will fight you to the death.
You
I'm
don't
not
have
talking
to.
to you, Michael. I'm not talking to you, Michael. I'm talking to you, the listener, who's at home right now, AirPods in ears, preparing their Thanksgiving meal for tonight, going, "What do you mean it's the best one?" I'll fight you specifically to the death on this. Pumpkin pie is the best pie. Frankly, once again, it's another year that we didn't include chocolate pie, which is a little disappointing.
Like chocolate pudding pie?
Yeah, which, like, again, chocolate pie is good, and I would take a slice of chocolate pie probably as my second choice. Man, a good pumpkin pie, shit, dude. That is, you don't beat that. You know, I don't care what you're trying to bring to the table. If you're talking just pies, you don't beat a pumpkin pie. You think S tier? I think S tier.
S tier.
All right.
S tier.
What are we doing about good old peach cobbler?
This would be my second choice. If apple isn't available, I think apple and peach are tied for second choice. So maybe A, but I could also be persuaded to let it just sit with the B tier pies.
This is my second choice of pie for sure.
Bro, are we on the same wavelength?
Surprisingly, I thought this was going to be way more vile than it ended up being. But yeah, honestly, I could put peach cobbler in the A tier and call that good. I go with peach cobbler in the A tier.
Sweet. Is there any other desserts we didn't put on here? It's like, what is a staple Thanksgiving dessert that I didn't think about?
I mean, for me, I'm thinking about a little bit of, back in the day, we used to do the cannolis, but that was more for Christmas than it was Thanksgiving. So, you know what? I want you to close your eyes for me. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to get comfortable. I want you to relax. Right? Loosen up your shoulders. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Out through your mouth.
If you're driving, please keep your eyes open.
All right, I'm gonna bring you where you need to be here. It's about 9:30 in the morning. You've just woken up after a pretty hearty sleep, right? Everybody is gone. The house is all cleaned up. You've got nothing to worry about today.
Bro.
It's Black Friday, but you don't need to go out shopping.
This is like
right?
20 years in the future for me. Because right now I'm up at 6:30.
Most meditation is done in silence, you rat bitch. Shut up.
Gotta make it realistic for it to count.
It's 9:30 in the morning. You wake up feeling nice and cozy. Keep those eyes closed. God damn it. You wake up, you have a nice morning, you're just kind of relaxing. And then somebody says, what are we going to do for lunch today? And you go, well, I think we've got some leftovers in the fridge from last night. And you open the fridge door to a cornucopia of cold cuts and crispy sides from the night before. And I'm talking, you got the whole hog in here. Everything you see on this list in some form or fashion is in this refrigerator the next day. All you have to do is put it on a plate, zap that bitch in the microwave for a couple of seconds. Make sure you stir the potatoes. Make sure the heat gets all the way through, right? And then you can eat it in whatever capacity you want. You can eat it with a fork and knife. You put it in a sandwich, put it in a burrito, maybe fry it up with some fresh eggs in the morning. Eat it with your bare hands. I don't care. I'm not your mom. Michael, I would like you to take one more deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Open your eyes. Where are we putting leftovers?
S tier.
Good man. Good man.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, Oxie.
It really is. I gotta say, leftovers are a slippery slope, but they're fantastic.
Chaos Clerk says, I have the absolute hottest take on leftovers, F tier. You're probably not alone, but you all should just band together and form your own society on an island somewhere because you're not welcome here. Leftovers are not F tier. What? What?
Legendary says, I can't. Okay, apparently leftovers are. Why are leftovers so goddamn controversial in the recording booth chat? We need some reasons here. All right. So to play devil's advocate, I can see why leftovers get annoying after a while because it's the same food for 2 or 3 days straight. I get it.
Yeah.
Right.
But if it's
sometimes
good,
you
what's
get
the
sick
problem?
of it. Well, I mean, sometimes you get sick of it, right? Sometimes you weird variety is a spice of life. And sometimes when you have turkey for 2 or 3 days in a row, you don't want that, right? They don't always heat up correctly. Fresh food is best food. If it's not fresh, it's not worth it. These are the arguments that we're seeing here. I think for some things, yeah, you just throw it away. Like salad, that also somehow didn't make the list.
Oh.
Salad saved the next day. Gross. Don't ever save your salad. That is absolutely not worth it. It is gross. Gross. But I don't know. On Thanksgiving, I consume about 3,500 calories of food. I don't want the same food for the next few days. And you know what? That's a valid critique of leftovers. I think if leftovers have a weak point, it is that after a while, it is very, very, very tiring to just have the same food over and over and over again, especially if you're the one who's busted your ass all day to make it,
An interesting thing about me, and this may be something I am completely alone here in this audience. My brain is wired such that I could eat the same thing every single day as long as I like it. I could eat it every single day and not have an issue as long as I like it.
Truly are constructed unlike any other.
So there was a point in time where probably for 2 years while I was working at that delivery company that I worked at, where my lunch for every day that I worked was 3 or 4 days a week was grilled chicken, rice, and veggies. I ate grilled chicken, rice, and veggies, and I put the same sauce every single day. I think I'm just a leftovers dude. We go to a restaurant, I'm excited the next morning to reheat my burrito or my nachos or whatever. Not that I wait to finish my I don't not eat it so I can take it home. But sometimes if you go to a Mexican place, you've eaten way too many chips and salsa and tortillas and you're just not hungry for your main course. That happens a lot actually for me. So, and Thanksgiving can be the same too. You didn't get to all the food that you wanted to get to because maybe you stuffed too many dinner rolls and deviled eggs before dinner started. couldn't be me. And you just didn't have enough room for all the good stuff. And now it's the next day and the day after and the day after. Ooh.
And the next day and the next day and the next day.
I think leftovers are my favorite food.
Fair enough. I think some of the sentiments of the recording booth chat are correct. I think not every food can be a leftover food. I don't think every food, maybe even every food on this tier list, I don't think is a good leftover food. You know?
Yeah.
I gotta love it with you. A leftover deviled egg sounds like hell. Leftover cream corn sounds like hell.
You're just
Only 'cause they
picking
sound like hell to begin
my
with.
favorite things just because you hate me.
Well, okay, listen.
Find something else.
It's not a targeted attack.
Felt
I don't
targeted.
think a baked potato the next day would be better
Oh, it'd be
either.
good. Yeah.
I'm sure we could eat it. I just don't think it would be better, you know?
I'm not saying leftovers are better than when it's fresh, but it's on the same level. Like you could have, listen, if we did a tier list, there would be very few exceptions. But if you did a tier list and it was like we had the fresh version and the leftover version, it says fresh ham, leftover ham. Almost all of them would probably be in the same tier for me.
Guys, crazy. Leftover ham low key kind of plummets. Leftover turkey.
Oh, wait. No,
fucks.
you're right. It gets
Leftover
really
ham
rubbery.
low key kind of plummets. Leftover ham isn't where it's at for me. And I love me some good old ham, but leftover ham just ain't it. I don't know. Leftover ham ain't it. So I think overall we're on the same page. Leftovers is an uncontested S tier, without a doubt. Uncontested S tier. I think it deserves every bit of the S tier to round out this episode.
I do want to call out one thing. Brian M., one of our KBD patrons, said this at 3:40 p.m. Central. Nothing in the F tier. That seems wrong. We have nothing
wrong.
in the F tier, Oxie. How
we
does
have
this
things in the
happen?
F tier. No, we have things in the F tier in our hearts. We have
Well,
things
sure
in the
we
F tier.
do. But
But,
nothing,
okay, here's the thing.
nothing made it to
We
the
don't
F
have
tier.
anything. We don't have anything in the F tier this year because you and I were businessmen this year.
Oh.
You and I made deals
Standing
with each
on-
other. We cut deals this year.
We're evolving.
We're evolving. It's not that there aren't F tier. Trust me, there are F tier foods on this list. Even thinking about devil, I can't.
Stop
I can't
it.
say the word out loud.
You can.
There are definitely F tier foods on this list. But I think you and I, in the long-standing marriage that is the Xpwaste podcast, have learned how to deal with each other in a way where like we don't need to push the beds apart. You know, it can like
We're sleeping together this
can't-
year.
it's a first, but I think we're making it through. I think the relationship is making it through okay, you know?
I really tried.
There are definitely F tier foods on this
We
list.
both gave our F. We both gave a valiant effort to get things in the F tier.
God, you damn right we did.
Green beans and
But-
peas are sitting right next to each other in the F tier, but they're not. They're right next to each other in the B tier. Oh wait, no, green beans is in the D tier. Ugh.
Because exactly, businessmen.
Is that like F tier light though? Like, shouldn't just be in the F tier? Maybe. Okay,
it's too late. It's
No,
too
no.
late. It's too late,
Here's
Michael.
where we get revisions. The
No,
screenshot has not
no,
been captured
We're not
yet.
revising shit.
Oh, okay.
I got the saddle today. This is the final ranking. I think we have done a great job this episode. And I feel like we always forget things for Thanksgiving. And
Uh-oh.
every year we always kind of talk about how like one day Michael and I are going to get together and do a bunch of food things. And someday that's going to happen. Someday you guys are going to witness that. Not this year, unfortunately. It's been a long time in this episode, and it's about time for us to go. But much like a cousin who comes in after the Lions game that you didn't expect to see, right? And you have a fan that you immediately start cracking beers with and have a great time. There is one more thing we need to discuss. Michael, my friend, do you have a fun question for us this week?
I forgot that we do fun questions for these.
I forgore.
So I feel like this whole episode was a fun question, but
Nah,
do we
there's
do-
got to be one
do
of
we
them
do
in
fun
there
questions
somewhere. Oh my God, no. Though, okay, I got a fun question for us this week
Ooh,
that I
Oxie's got
think
it.
is actually funny as hell. Bass Mike Jr. Is it Bass or Bass Mike or Boz? I don't know. I've
Bass.
just been calling him Mike. Bass Mike Jr. says, picture this. A meteor is approaching Earth and you've got 12 hours until it hits. You obviously choose to spend those last 12 hours playing RuneScape. What are you doing in RuneScape for your last 12 hours?
I am going to start the world's largest follow train. And we are going to go from Lumbridge to wherever we can. We're going to make the world's largest follow train, and we're going to try and loop around the entire map and connect it back. And it's going to be hard too, because you're going to have people who want to jump to the front, and you're going to have to tell them, get to the back. Wait 20 minutes. Your line, the end of the line's coming. You're going to have to jump to the back. And we're just going to go, we're going to walk around the map, and we're all going to be nostalgic about the game. And we're going to listen to all the music as it plays in the different regions. And we may stop and all grab a beer in Blue Moon in Varrock and get back on the train. Because I don't want to train rune crafting for the last 12 hours of my life, dude. I want to experience every square inch of this map with all of the other people who love this game. And the best way to do that is a follow train.
I feel like I would be in that train for sure, but for 12 straight hours, to me, I don't know if I could do that for 12 straight hours. What I think I could do is I would try to kill one of every boss. Just have one good memory with all the bosses one last time. And yes, even the Inferno. I would dedicate 2 hours of my life to sending one last cape. If I got lucky, just like one tick got a Zuck task, in my last 12 hours, I would send an Inferno. That's not how I would end it, you know? But I would send one more Inferno just to say that I did. And I would do one of every boss. We'd go on raids. We would have an absolute just shittery of a time. It'd be
That's a word.
it'd be the dumbest raids in the world. Like it would be like Fashionscape Chambers. It would be like 8-man 540s, you know. Maybe we do like you roll up to Tob and it takes until Sodaseg to realize that you didn't bring your Scythe of a tour. You brought your holiday Halloween scythe and you've just been picking at the bosses for fun. Like it would be stupid and fun. And I think it really would be one last great day in RuneScape that kind of all culminates. I myself would be on World 514 the whole time. I don't care. What? Oh no! What are we gonna do? Die to UK ping? Who cares, dog? At this point, who cares? So, I think I would be hanging out in 514, especially at the GE towards the end. And that would be kind of that'd be how I spend my evening. Just one last little send off. The meteor hits the earth, and we all just sort of like, because they'll be in Discord calls together too. That'd be that'd be something. That would be one hell of an evening for sure.
It's a good question.
One of every boss in the game.
I like that actually, because then you get to experience the game in a very methodical and condensed chunk. Get a lot of variety within. I think it would be fun to like. If you could do it in 12 hours, it would be kind of fun to go to every different region and kill one of every monster that exists in that region. Not
that
just the bosses.
Like a lot of work.
I mean, you got 12 hours to get killed. So like,
that's true.
Instead of 12 hours to kill, you have 12 hours to get killed. So it could be fun. Though realistically, like 2.5 to 3 hours just in the fight caves, that seems like a lot.
Brother, why are you in the fight caves for 3 hours?
The fight caves meaning Zuck and Jad. They're in the fight caves, the caves of fighting.
Not quite, but I'll give it to you. We only got 12 hours left. We don't have time to get pedantic about it, you know.
Finally, we don't have to be pedantic about things. Oh,
The minute they deflect that meteor, though, we're getting right back to it.
bro, it is the end of the episode.
It is.
My belt is undone. My pants are undone. My belly's hanging out. We're chilling on the couch, and it's the end of the episode. So we hope you guys
do me a favor.
Yo.
Do me a favor. If you're listening to this early in the morning, you're listening to this when it drops, you're listening to this on your way to go wherever, bring a pair of sweatpants with you to
Yes.
Thanksgiving. I am not kidding you. It does not matter where you are going. Bring a pair of sweatpants. I don't care what the occasion is. Bring a pair of sweatpants. You break out your pair of sweatpants after a big Thanksgiving dinner, and you're like, oh, what are my girlfriend's parents going to say?
They're going to
Your
call you a
girlfriend's
genius.
dad's going to go, actually, that's a great idea. And he's going to go upstairs and he's going to put sweatpants on too.
Facts.
Right? I am telling you.
Big facts.
Bring a pair of sweatpants with you. If you're in a warmer environment, bring a pair of shorts. Sweatpants is probably a better look. You know, if you're going to the significant other's house and it's a newer relationship, bring matching pajama pants. Because guess what? Once the Thanksgiving festivities are over, it's Christmas time, motherfucker. You do whatever kitschy shit that you want to do for the holidays because it's officially Christmas time once the plates get put away. So,
fantastic advice. I could not agree more. Or just wear the sweatpants to Thanksgiving. Who?
nah,
gives
you
a
got to
shit?
look. If somebody else is making you food, you got to look nice.
Just have a casual
If you're the
Thanksgiving.
one, I mean, casual Thanksgiving works on smaller scales, right? But if you're going over to like an extended family thing, you kind of want to look a little nice.
Sure,
You know
that's
what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, well, now is the end of the episode. Great advice. Thank you, Oxie.
I'm full just thinking about it.
Just thank you so much for hanging out with us on this great American holiday we all like to call Thanksgiving. There's other countries that have it, but not today. Not today. It's an American thing today. So we hope that you guys have a wonderful rest of your holiday. And if you're listening to this after the fact, we hope your Thanksgiving was great. And if you didn't have Thanksgiving, I don't know what to tell you. You can check us out, all the things we have in store to give you for offering. That's a sentence.
What in the world are you trying? I think Michael's already at a food
In the
coma.
description
Jesus Christ.
is what I'm trying to say. Everything you could ever want is in the description. I don't know why I go off script sometimes, but everything you could ever want is in the description. Follow us on social media. Check out our Patreon, like we said earlier. Check out the merch store where we will definitely, at this point now, absolutely, positively have the Christmas sweaters on the store for sure. And everything you could ever want is down there. So that's the end of the episode. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone.